Get caught, unstuck. Beginning next Monday, the KRLD Mystery Spotter will be cruising the Dallas area looking for cars displaying the free Mr. Pibb bumper sticker. Get caught, and you are an instant winner. Over 200 prizes will be awarded. Sylvania color TVs, stereo sets, AM/FM portable radios, and a host of other prizes. Stick with Mr. Pibb, and you'll have a chance to win the Mystery Spotter car itself, a 1974 Spirit of America Chevy Vega from Duran Chevrolet. It's simple, no purchase necessary, nothing to buy. Just look for complete details and free bumper stickers at participating stores where you shop for Mr. Pibb. Stickers are also available at Duran Chevrolet, LBJ at Inwood. So slap your bumper on our sticker, and you could be an instant winner. While you're sticking, stock up on cartons of Mr. Pibb. It's smooth and easy, and it goes down good.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Sorry about this door of ours. We've tried oiling it 100 times, but it doesn't do the least bit of good. You see, this is the door to the Radio Mystery Theater, and its hinges have a mind of its own. And speaking of the mind, that's the subject of the story you're about to hear. We're going to take you deep into the recesses of a human mind. But you won't be alone on your journey. You'll be accompanied by 3 people. One of them is a psychiatrist, a man whose purpose it is to heal and cure. But the other 2, well, I'm sorry to say that their intentions are not nearly so benevolent.
You can't do this to that man, Jimmy. He's sick. He's very sick. If we do something like this, we're liable to make him worse.
You think I care about him? All I care about is us.
But you might drive him out of his head. You might make him insane.
Our mystery drama, The Case of M.J.H., was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Henry Slessor and stars Augusta Dabney. It is sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, and Buick Motor Division. I'll be back shortly with Act 1.
You don't see many people putting salt in their beer nowadays. Not that there's anything wrong with salt on radishes or French fries, but man, not in the king of beers. Truth is, the only thing salt can do for Budweiser is make it salty. An unwise thing to do to the only beer in America that's Beechwood aged. Unsalted Budweiser has become the most popular beer in the world. That's because in brewing Bud, the Budweiser brewmaster goes all the way for a taste, a smoothness, a drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. And something else you can take without a grain of salt. The fact that when you say Budweiser, you've said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
You're doing more. We're doing more. The Dallas Times Herald
announces the winning team for the football season. Veterans Blackie Sherrod, Frank Luxa, Bob Galt, Jim Woodruff, Harry Gage, James Walker, rookies Randy Harvey, Kenny Hand. So if you want another reason why the hare finally beat the tortoise, these are the columns to read this fall. Sherrod, Luxa, Galt, Woodruff, Gage, Walker, Harvey, Hand, Sherrod.
The mood of a psychiatrist's office is very special. A quiet mood, which gives no hint of the raging storms contained in the minds of those who lie on Dr. Vernon Cooper's leather couch and murmur their way through the secret fears and hidden angers of their lives.
I must have been, 20 or 21, something like that. That was when I started putting on the pounds. My God, I put on weight so fast I had to get rid of a suit I'd bought only 2 months before.
It was, like you said, I got myself into a spiral. I couldn't get out of it. I didn't have any friends. I didn't think any girl would look at me twice fat as I was. And the more I felt deprived, the hungrier I got. And the more I ate, and the more I ate, and... Oh, listen, I must have told you this story a dozen times, Dr. Cooper.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's like a waste of money, isn't it? Me coming here twice a week and telling you the same things over and over.
Oh, there are differences. There are always differences in the way things are related. Those differences can be very significant.
Well, maybe.
Why are you looking at your watch?
Oh, I tell my time's up, isn't it?
Yes, but why not let me tell you when the hour's up?
I guess I'm just anxious to get out of here. I've got something to do this evening.
Business appointment?
Well, like you said, Doctor, the hour's up. I don't have to say any more, do I?
All right, Mr. Harrison. We'll go on next time, then.
Right. Listen, would it be all right if I didn't come in at 3 o'clock on Wednesday? I'm busy then. Could we change the time?
Well, why don't you check with Miss Sheridan?
Yeah, I'll do that. So long, Dr. Cooper.
Bye.
Miss Sheridan.
Yes, Mr. Harrison?
Dr. Cooper said I could ask you if there was some other time I could come on Wednesday.
Well, let's see. You were scheduled for 3. Oh! Wait a minute. I see that Dr. Cooper has a free hour at 10. If you can make it that early?
Yes, that'll be okay. 10 o'clock. Thanks.
Bye, Mr. Harrison.
So long.
Dr. Cooper's office.
Hi, Maddie. It's Judy.
Oh, hello, Judy. How are you?
Okay. Listen, what are you doing tonight?
Usual, I suppose. Eating dinner and watching television. Who knows? I might vary the routine by washing my hair.
You wouldn't like to go to that party with me?
What party? Oh, Judy, you don't mean that dancing school thing?
Yeah, that one.
Judy, why do you talk about those things as if they're really parties? Nobody gets invited. You pay to be there.
Oh, it's better than nothing, isn't it?
Not for me, it isn't.
But what choice do we have? There's got to be some way to meet a man in this town.
Well, all we ever met there are dancing instructors. And all they want is to sign us up for a 5,000-lesson dance course, payable for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I guess you're right. What did you say was on TV tonight?
Maddie?
Oh, excuse me, Judy, have to go.
Oh, okay. I'll call you later.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Dr. Cooper?
You might as well run along home. I have some notes to transcribe, and I'm not expecting any more patients.
I'm not in any hurry, Doctor.
No, you run along and enjoy your evening. Oh, did I say something wrong?
I beg your pardon?
That was quite a face you made when I said that.
Oh, I'm sorry. My evening was just under discussion. Doesn't look that enjoyable.
Oh, well, whatever happened to that young man you were seeing a while back? Freddie something?
You're just a little bit behind schedule, Dr. Cooper. Freddie was gone with the wind just about a year ago.
Huh? Is it that long?
There never was much there to begin with.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, see you in the morning as usual.
As usual. That's the phrase, all right.
So Mr. Radaman says to Mr. Clark, who's supposed to be handling the money around here, you or me? So Mr. Clark says, why have we got adding machines in the office if you're not going to use them? So Mr. Radaman says, hey, Maddie, are you still there?
Yes, Judy, I'm here.
You haven't said a word for 5 minutes.
I wonder why.
Listen, am I keeping you from something?
Only from my dinner. I thought I had some macaroni and cheese left over from last night, but it had green mold all over it.
Well, what are you going to do then?
Go out the cafeteria, I suppose.
I thought you hated that place. You said it was full of nothing but tired old men.
Yeah, old men with fresh macaroni and cheese. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Judy, okay?
Yeah, all right. Hey, you know something?
What?
Right about now, I'd even settle for a tired old man.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes?
Maybe I better give you a hand with that tray. It looks like you're about to drop the whole
Oh,
thing.
this darn book of mine has made the whole thing unbalanced.
Well, here, maybe if I grab the book.
Oh, thanks. That helps.
Hey, this is some book, all right. Must weigh 10
It
pounds.
reads that way, too. Well, thanks again.
Why not sit down here at my table?
Well, okay. I guess it's just as good a table as any.
Of course, maybe you'd rather be by yourself to read your book.
No. I don't think I really feel like reading tonight.
Hey, what's the name of it, anyway? Hey, you know something? I can't even pronounce the name of it.
It's called The Psychopathology of Everyday Life. Sigmund Freud. I'm sure you've heard of him.
Yeah, he's a shrink or something like that.
Well, he was just about the first shrink, I guess.
No kidding. Hey, you must be a pretty brainy type reading stuff like this.
Well, I'm afraid I only read it because I think I should. Not much of it really penetrates.
Well, that's the way I feel about most books. Only I never cracked one with a title like that.
Well, you see, I work for a doctor.
Oh, hey, you a nurse?
No, not really. I'm just a receptionist, a secretary. But I did have some training, and I thought it would be necessary in order to work for that sort of person.
Oh, what sort?
A psychiatrist.
Oh, you mean he's a shrink, too?
Well, I suppose you could call him that.
Oh, what do you know? You know, all my life I wondered about those guys. I mean, what they do, how that psychoanalysis stuff works. It does work, doesn't it?
Oh, yes. There's no doubt of that. Oh, Dr. Cooper's done wonderful things for his patients.
You mean he makes crazy people well?
Oh, well, you can't oversimplify it that way. Well, his patients aren't, crazy, as you say. They're disturbed, and they have problems and neuroses, and, well, an awful lot of people do. Only, not all of them seek professional help.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Yeah, more nuts walking the street. What is psychopathology?
Yeah.
I don't know. This kind of stuff is too much for me. Hey, you're not eating your dinner.
No. Yeah, that's right. Well, then, you're not eating yours either.
Well, I'm not too hungry tonight. I'm just having coffee.
That's all?
Well, that's all I came in for. Only I guess I'm getting a little more than I bargained for. I mean, this nice conversation.
Do you live around here?
Well, not too far away. In fact, I was thinking of looking for a room in this neighborhood.
Just a room?
Well, yeah, what else does a guy like me need? I mean, a guy without a family.
Oh, I see.
You know, I really can't get over it.
Over what?
The combination.
What do you mean?
I mean, a girl like you, a nice-looking girl like you, with brains, too. Listen, my name is Jimmy French.
How do you do?
Oh, hey, come on. Fair is fair. I told you my name, the least you can do.
Okay, my name's Maddie Sheridan.
Maddie?
Yeah, well, the truth is my name is Matilda, but I don't care for it very much, so my friends call me Maddie.
Well, fine, that's okay with me. My name is James. Well, I guess I should be running along. I gotta meet a guy downtown, talk about a job.
Oh, you're not working right now?
No, well, I'm kind of between things, but it'll be okay, I guess, if I just keep trying. That's the old American spirit, right?
Yes, of course.
It was sure nice talking to you, Maddie.
It was nice talking to you.
Maybe I'll see you around. Who knows, right?
Yeah, who knows? Dr. Cooper's office. Oh, yes, Mr. Harrison. No, the doctor hasn't come back from lunch yet. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'll tell the doctor that when he arrives. Now, will you be able to make your next appointment? Fine. I'll tell him, Mr. Harrison. Oh, Dr. Cooper.
Sorry I'm back so late, Matilda. Mr. Harrison isn't here yet, is he?
No, he just called this minute. He said he wasn't feeling very well, and he won't be able to make it today.
Oh, yeah, I was afraid of that. Did he say what was bothering him?
No, that's all he said. But he promised that he'd be here for his next appointment. You look worried, Doctor.
Yeah, I am. Worried about that man. Sometimes I almost feel I should arrange another doctor for him. He just isn't making the progress I hoped for. Oh, well, if he calls again, put him through directly to me. Tell him I could fit him in tomorrow if he wants.
Yes, Doctor. Dr. Cooper's office.
Hi, is this Maddie?
Yes? Who's this?
Hi, Maddie. It's Jimmy French. Remember me?
Yes, I remember. Hey, how did you know where to reach me?
Well, I remembered what you said about this Dr. Cooper. I just looked you up.
Oh.
Listen, I hope you don't think I'm fresh or anything, but I was wondering if maybe you'd see me sometime. Like tonight.
Well, I really don't know. It's sort of short notice.
Yeah, I guess it is. I don't blame you for saying no.
Oh, well, I didn't say no. I just meant that I was going to stay home and do some ironing, but I guess that can wait.
Hey, you mean it?
Yeah, of course I do. Do you think you can pick me up at my apartment?
Well, sure. Where is it?
It's 915 Southern Avenue on the first floor. Apartment 2A.
Is 7:30 okay?
7:30's fine.
Oh, great. I'll see you then, Matty. 1 second. Who is it?
It's Mike.
Yeah, that figures. I knew you'd be coming around again.
That's right, Jimmy boy. I'm coming around every night until we get our business finished. Now, what do you say? Got a little installment for me?
Mike, listen, I got something better than an installment.
Come on, buddy. Don't tell me you got the whole thing. I'd keel over and die. You never had 2 bills in your pocket at the same time.
Mike, I got something going. I got something that's going to take a little time, but it'll be just what I need. What we both need.
You know what I need, Jimmy boy. I need my bread. All of it. And I need it now.
You'll get it, every nickel, Mike. I'm going to start putting it all together tonight. 7:30 tonight. Something tells me that Jimmy French isn't the best person that Matty Sheridan could have met in the cafeteria that night. Of course, I might be wrong. He might be a very fine, upstanding young man whose only interest is getting somewhere in this world. Or is the phrase, getting someone? We'll find out more when I return shortly with Act 2.
Say, do you know what happens this time of year?
The swallows come back to Capistrano.
Nope.
The buzzards come back to Hinkley Ridge, Ohio.
No.
Bulldogs all over the world begin to shed.
Not even close.
Oh.
This, my friend, is the time of year when you can get a super little deal on the practical but elegant Buick Apollo. And just between you and me, it may very well be the best chance you'll ever have to buy a Buick.
I could have sworn this was Buzzard Day in Hinkley.
This can make your blood pressure go up. And Madame wish?
Oh, I'd like pâté to start, I think.
Oui, Madame.
And
Darling.
vichyssoise.
Darling.
Chateaubriand, yes, and petit pois.
Darling.
Yes, dear.
I forgot my wallet.
What, again?
Oh, monsieur. Yes, your blood pressure can go up, but usually it will come back down again. If it doesn't, you may have hypertension. But hypertension can be controlled. Your heart
is an
association...
unusual animal marked with a number of odd characteristics. And...
Matty Sheridan has had a remarkable evening. Remarkable simply because a man, young, attractive, and unmarried, has sought her out, treated her to dinner, taken her to a movie, and is now walking her back home. Not a very noteworthy event for many women, but for Matty Sheridan, after a year of loneliness, a most significant evening indeed.
I don't think you really liked the movie, Jimmy.
Yeah, it was okay.
You seemed awfully fidgety.
I like it that way sometimes, fidgety. I don't know, maybe it wasn't the best way to, well, you know, get to know somebody just by sitting in a movie house watching a picture.
I see. Oh, what happened about that job?
What job?
I meant to ask you at dinner. About that job interview you went on the night we met.
Oh, that. Well, that didn't work out, but I'll get something. Don't worry about me.
What sort of work do you do, Jimmy?
Well, all kinds of things. Listen, what time do you have? I don't have a watch. I mean, I do, but it's broken. It's in the shop.
10 minutes after 11.
Oh, is that late? I mean, as far as you're concerned.
No, not very.
Well, maybe I could come in for a few minutes, huh?
Yeah, of course. If you want to. I could make some coffee, maybe.
Well, that'd be great.
Or maybe you'd like some hot chocolate. I still love hot chocolate late at night. Oh, I suppose I'll always be a child, even though I'm I'm not a child.
Tell you the truth, what I'd really like is a beer if you have one.
Yes, sure, I think I do.
Swell. You like living alone, Maddie?
Oh, I don't think anybody really likes being alone.
No, that's for sure. Hey, skip the glass. I'll drink it right out of the can.
Okay.
Thanks. Oh, that's good.
Jimmy?
Hmm?
Can I ask you something?
Well, sure.
Why are you having trouble finding work?
Oh, I don't know. It's just the times, I guess.
Well, when you say you do all kinds of things, what would some of them be?
Well, I guess anything that doesn't require brains.
Oh, come on. I don't believe that. You're very intelligent, seems to me.
Wow, thanks, but you know better, Maddie. I mean, you know I'm not so good in the education department. I quit high school in my second term. Ooh, that was a big mistake.
Well, mistakes can be corrected.
Look, Maddie, you might as well know the worst about me. When I was a kid, I was in trouble all the time. Stealing cars, stuff like that. I was even arrested a couple of times.
But you were young. You didn't know any better then.
Yeah, I guess.
It doesn't do any good to blame yourself for what you've done in the past. That just gives you guilt feelings.
Yeah, Doc. Guilt feelings, right? Hey, how much do you charge for an hour?
I'm serious, Jimmy.
Yeah, I was afraid you might ask me something serious.
Would you rather I didn't?
No, the truth is I want you to be serious with me. I haven't met anybody like you in a long, long time.
Then tell me about yourself, Jimmy.
Okay. Well, you want to hear the rough part? I'm a nothing.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Oh, you can believe it, Maddie. I'm a nothing. I don't have a trade. I can't do anything that'll make me a decent living. I've had 6 jobs this year, none of them worth $100 a week. I'm not the kind of a guy who can, well, take a girl to fancy places, stuff like that.
I don't like fancy places myself.
Yeah, but you deserve something a lot better than cafeterias. I mean, you're really something special, Maddie. Didn't you know that?
Me?
Listen, I never thought a girl like you would look at me twice.
But why?
Oh, come on, you know, you're a million times smarter than me. Look, maybe I'd better be going.
Well, you haven't even finished your beer.
I'd better go. I'm just getting you all depressed, and me too.
Jimmy?
Huh?
Will you be calling me again?
Why do you want to hear from a guy like me? What for?
Hello?
Maddie?
Who is it?
Look, I'm sorry to be calling so late. I guess you must have been fast asleep.
Oh, well, I did go to bed right after you left.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done it, but I just had to talk to you again, Maddie. I hated to see things left the way they were.
I don't know how things were left.
Maddie, would you see me again?
Of course I would.
You wouldn't be just saying that, Maddie.
Don't be silly.
Because now you know what kind of a bum I am.
I don't know anything of the kind.
Listen, this is crazy, but would you see me tomorrow night, too?
Yes, Jimmy. Sure, I'd be happy to see you tomorrow night.
Mr. Harrison not here yet?
No, Doctor.
I should have guessed that he'd be late. He always is recently.
Dr. Cooper.
Yes, Maddie.
About tonight. I know we usually work a bit late on Fridays, but I was just wondering if I could leave at 5:30.
Well, yes, of course. Huh. Something special about tonight?
Yes, sort of.
I've been meaning to tell you how well you've been looking these days. Doing your hair differently, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah. I got sort of tired of that old maid look.
Now, if I had to give a professional opinion, I might diagnose a condition of the heart.
All right. I'm here. I suppose you're all upset because I'm late.
Oh, no, Mr. Harrison, not at all. Please come in.
Hello?
Jimmy, it's all right. My place at 7, darling. Here we are. Roast beef, specialty of the house.
Yeah, looks good.
Did you pour the wine, darling?
Uh-huh.
You do like roast beef, don't you, Jimmy?
Yeah, sure.
Not too well done, is it? Oh, my oven heats up like Vesuvius sometimes.
No. It's just right.
Hey, Jimmy, what is it? Now, look, I can see that something is the matter.
Well, nothing's the matter. The roast beef is great. The table looks terrific. You look sensational. The only thing wrong with this whole thing is me.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about me, Maddie, about me and you and all the talk about, the future. I don't know what made me start that junk. Talking about marrying when I can't even get a job that lasts more than 1 week.
Jimmy, did you say marrying?
Well, sure. What else? That's what I want for us, Maddie, more than anything.
But you've never mentioned that before.
How could I? What right did I have? I've been thinking about it so much I'm sick. You know how that is. You can think about something and get sick. Head aches right now.
Oh, darling, poor boy. Why didn't you say something?
No, it's not a case for an aspirin. It needs another kind of pill. A money pill. That's what it needs.
Oh, Jimmy.
Maddie, I told you a lie. I told you that I was a wild kid, a bad kid. That was a lie. I was just an ordinary kid. The guy I described, the crook, the punk who stole cars, the guy who got himself arrested twice. That's me now, Maddie. Right now.
You don't mean that.
I'm telling you the truth about myself. I'm not just a crook. I'm a cheap crook at that.
Oh, I just don't believe that.
Well, you better, for your sake. It's even worse than you know. I'm not just broke. I'm in debt. I've been living on borrowed bread. If I don't pay it back, I'll either go to jail or get my head busted in.
Oh, Jimmy, no.
Well, that's what they do to guys like me.
Jimmy, listen. Listen, I have some money saved. I have a little over $300.
I owe $8,000, Maddie.
What?
I owe $8,000. How do you like them apples?
Oh, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'd be some husband for you, wouldn't I? Best thing for you is to lose me, honey. Lose me.
But I don't want to lose you. There has to be something that can be done, Jimmy.
Well, yeah, maybe. I've been thinking about it a lot.
What have you thought?
I thought that...
What?
I can't even tell you about
please, come on, you have to.
Okay. It's the only time I'll ever ask you to do something like this because I'm going to change right after it's over. I'll change, Maddie, so help me.
After what's over?
One more job. Only one, I mean it. But it's got to be something worthwhile. Now, Maddie, I want you to bring me the files from the doctor's office.
What?
I want you to bring me his files, as many as you can carry. Only the current cases, the people he's had recently.
But Jimmy,
now, let me finish. I want to borrow those files just overnight. I'll go through them real quick, so fast you can have them back in the drawers by morning. Who knows? Maybe I'll find what I'm looking for right away.
Well, what are you looking for? What good will Dr. Cooper's files do you?
It's just an idea I got. I mean, this analyst stuff is pretty personal, isn't it? I mean, they have to tell the doctor everything, don't they?
Yes, of course. There can't be any secrets from an analyst. That would defeat the whole purpose.
Right. No secrets. So if I could see the doc's notes, if I could read through them, well, There's bound to be plenty of stuff they'd like to hide, stuff they'd pay money to keep quiet.
Jimmy, you're talking about blackmailing.
Your boss has a lot of rich patients, hasn't he? Now, you told me how much this analysis stuff costs. I mean, $60 an hour. They're going to be loaded,
Jimmy,
right?
please don't ask me to do this.
Honey, they can afford a few grand. It wouldn't hurt them to part with a few grand. If I could just get enough to pay off the loan and maybe a little extra for us to get started.
No, I won't, Jimmy. I can't, I won't.
You won't even listen to me. You won't even give me a chance.
I couldn't do such a thing. I just couldn't.
Not even for me? For us?
No.
All right. That tells me what I want to know. I guess you want me to beat it out of here right now, don't you?
No, I didn't say that either.
It just can't be both ways.
It isn't fair. It just isn't fair to ask me to do such a thing. It just...
So long, man. I'm sorry about the dinner. You went through a lot of trouble, but I just don't have any appetite.
Jimmy?
Who is it?
It's me, Jimmy.
Who?
It's Maddie.
Maddie, what are you doing here?
I just wanted to see you. I've been calling you for days.
I've been out.
Why didn't you call me?
You know why.
Jimmy, I missed you terribly.
I missed you too, Maddie. What's the use? What's the good of us seeing each other? It doesn't go nowhere, honey, don't you see?
Jimmy, can't you see what I have here?
What's that?
It's the files. It's not all of them. It's just his current patients.
Patients?
Yes, it's Dr. Cooper's files. I've brought them.
Well. They say that love is blind. But in this case, you might also say that love is just a little bit larcenous, too. No, we won't pass judgment on Maddie Sheridan. We know the pressures that she faces. But who knows who else is going to be pressured as a result of this night's work? We'll find out very soon when I return with Act 3.
The Veterans Administration helps people in little ways.
A veteran, let's say, is trying to get an appointment. He's filed to go to school under the GI Bill. He's not getting any money, but he's entitled. Well, what's wrong with writing a letter saying that under the law, this man is entitled to receive $220 a month for attending school on a full-time basis? Believe it or not, he can take that letter with the little job, take it to the real estate people, and because he has an additional income of $220, although he isn't receiving it, it makes his chances of getting that apartment much better. And this is what I mean about the little things. Going beyond the duty every once in a while. Just go a little bit out of your way to help someone. That's my philosophy. To me, these are little things, but big things to that person. A big thing to that person.
At VA, we try a little harder to help.
Right now, you can get True Value Hardware Store's own True Test Standard Latex Paint at special low prices. Hi, Frank Lieber here to tell you that you can take your pick, house paint or interior paint, just $4.99 a gallon. True Test Standard Latex House Paint resists fumes, alkali, blistering, and fading. It comes in white or ready-mix colors. True Test Standard Interior Latex normally covers in just one coat. It comes in pastels or white. Take your pick, just $4.99 a gallon. Or get True Test Woodsman Solid Color Latex Stain. It resists fading and blistering. It lasts twice as long as conventional oil stain, and it cleans up in soap and water. 21 rustic flat colors, just $5.88 a gallon. True Value Hardware Stores make True Test paint in their own paint factories. Their reputation as paint specialists rests on the quality of that paint. Get True Test paints at special low prices now during the Labor Day paint sale exclusively at True Value Hardware Stores.
There is frantic activity in a one-room apartment rented by Jimmy French. A study period which has lasted for many long hours. Folder after folder has been perused. Long, copious notes full of psychiatric jargon have been studied. And if Jimmy French is getting what he expected from the notes of Dr. Vernon Cooper, he certainly doesn't seem to be pleased with the results.
Nothing. I can't make heads or tails out of this
Please,
stuff.
Jimmy, try just to keep them in some kind of order. If you mix up the pages, I'll never get them back correctly in the files.
Why can't I figure out what he's talking about half the time?
I told you it wouldn't be easy, that they wouldn't make sense to you.
It's like reading a foreign language. Wait a minute. What are those type pages?
Well, they're transcripts of conversations. They're taken from a tape recorder. Well, Dr. Cooper doesn't always tape what his patients are telling him unless he thinks it's important.
Oh, boy, this looks like a long night. I haven't even eaten yet, have you?
No, I came right from the office.
I got some hamburger meat in the refrigerator.
You want me to fix it?
That'd be great.
All right.
Maddie?
Yes?
Look, I know how you feel about this, but you're not doing your boss any harm. These files will be back where they belong tomorrow morning.
All right, Jimmy. Well, it's all set. I couldn't find any hamburger rolls, so I hope white bread will do.
Maddie, I think I got it. I think I found the one.
You did?
He doesn't mention the guy's name, just his initials. M.J.H. Who is he? Do you know? Who's M.J.H.?
Oh, Jimmy. No, not that one.
Well, why not? Who is he?
Because his name is Harrison. It's Martin J. Harrison, and he's in Wall Street, and... Oh, I suppose he's very wealthy, but he's such an unhappy man. Jimmy, don't make it any worse.
He doesn't sound so unhappy to me. You read the stuff about him?
No, I don't know anything about him. Dr. Cooper types his own notes. They're confidential.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about the guy. He's got a girlfriend.
He does?
How old a guy would you say he is?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose he's close to 60.
Well, guess how old Diana is. That's her name, Diana. She's 18 years old. How about that? 18 years old. And, of course, he's married, isn't he?
Yes, he's married.
Diana. 18-year-old Diana. Boy, you should read the way he talks about her. You put the stuff in a book, you'd have a bestseller. Maddie, tell me more about this guy.
I don't know any more about him. All I know is that Dr. Cooper worries about him a lot. He says he's one of his most difficult patients.
Yeah, I can see that.
Sometimes he said that he shouldn't be treating Mr. Harrison, that he isn't helping him enough.
Well, maybe we can help him. Maybe we can help ourselves.
Oh, Jimmy. All this is so horrible.
His wife doesn't know about Diana, of course. He talks about that a lot. You know, the fact that his wife doesn't know, that it would kill her if she knew. He's worried sick about that. I mean, he's crazy about his wife, but he can't give up this 18-year-old stuff either. Can you imagine
Please,
that?
Please, Jimmy, stop it.
Oh, you can't feel sorry for a guy like this, can you?
Yes, of course I can feel sorry. Whatever's wrong with the man, he can't help himself. He just can't. That's why he's going to Dr. Cooper in the first place.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going to him. Now, where's that phone book?
Jimmy, I can't let you do this.
What?
You don't understand about Mr. Harrison. If you could just see the man, the way he looks when he comes into the office, he's so unhappy.
Look, you expect me to be sorry for this guy?
Yeah.
I bet he's had it soft all of his life. I bet he's never had to kick around the street like a stray cat. All right, so now he's having himself a fling and he needs a shrink to make excuses for himself. Yeah, I'm sorry, baby. My heart doesn't bleed for Mr. M.J.H. It bleeds for me, Jimmy French.
Oh, Jimmy!
Hey, come on, cut that out, huh? Come on.
I can't help it.
Oh, come on, don't cry.
You can't do this to this man, Jimmy. He's sick. He's very sick. If we do something like this, we're liable to make it worse.
You think I care about that? All I care about is us.
But you might drive him out of his head. You might make him insane.
No, baby, no. I'm just going to make him a little bit poorer.
Morning, Mr. Harrison.
Morning.
I'm glad you were able to keep the appointment.
Is the doctor in?
Yes, I'll tell him you're here. Dr. Cooper, Mr. Harrison's arrived. Yes, I will. You can go right in, Mr. Harrison.
Thanks.
Please come in, Mr. Harrison.
I suppose you've got a few nasty things to say to me today.
Well, why would you think that?
Oh, because of the appointments I've missed. Or maybe it doesn't matter to you. You get paid no matter what, right? Probably a relief to you when your patients don't show up.
Please lie down, Mr. Harrison.
All right. Well, is it true? You're glad when we screwballs don't show up to bother you, aren't you?
Yeah, you happen to be wrong about that. I'm not glad to miss a session. I lose something by it. And more important, so do you.
$60, that's what I lose.
Can you give me any particular reason why you didn't show up last time?
You know the reason.
Do I?
You know very well. I needed a different kind of therapy, Doctor.
Go on.
Well, you know what I'm going to say next.
No, I'd rather you did the talking.
I went to see her, of course. Diana.
I see.
Took me a whole day to figure out how to get to Diana's place and stay a while. Without my wife finding out, of course.
And did you succeed?
Yes, I succeeded. I told her I was coming to see you. That's always a good excuse, of course, going to see my analyst. So you see, you do come in handy sometimes, Dr. Cooper. You're worth $60 an hour even when I'm not here lying on your couch. I'm on somebody else's couch.
You don't really consider me an excuse, do you, Mr. Harrison?
No, that's not what I meant, Doctor. You know what I meant.
Please continue.
Anyway, I made sure that Elizabeth didn't know where I was. I always have to make sure of it, that she doesn't suspect anything. I told you what it would do to her. She's a sick woman. That heart of hers is held together with tissue paper. Did I ever tell you how sick she is?
Yes, you've told me.
It would kill her if she found out about Diana. She'd just lay down and die. I can't have that happen, Doctor. She's everything to me. She's my whole world. Well, I know what you're thinking. If she's my whole world, what am I doing with Diana? That's what you want to know, isn't it?
If you can answer the question, please do.
That's just the thing. I can't answer it. I don't know. Every time I see that rotten little 18-year-old tramp. Tramp. That's all she is. Jailbait.
And yet you continue to see her.
I've got to. I can't help it. I've got to go on seeing her, Dr. Cooper. She's got a spell on me. A hex of some kind, I swear it. And yet, oh God, if Elizabeth ever knew, if she ever found out, it would kill her. My wife would die. And then I'd die, too.
Jimmy, over here.
Oh, hi, honey. How are you?
I'm scared. I'm terribly scared.
Oh, now, forget that stuff. You got nothing to be scared about.
Why didn't you call me all day? Don't you realize what I was going through?
Well, I was too busy.
Jimmy, please tell me what's happening.
Okay, I'll tell you exactly. I called Mr. Harrison.
You really did?
I called him in his office. I told him I know all about his little 18-year-old and that if he didn't want his wife to find out...
Oh, dear Lord.
Now listen, tell me about Dr. Cooper. Everything's okay there, isn't it?
If you mean the files... No, he doesn't realize they were disturbed.
Now, what about his prize patient, M.J.H.?
Well, he didn't come in today. He broke his appointment today. He always does that when something's really bothering him.
Maddie, listen, this will all be over soon.
When? Please tell me when.
This weekend.
So soon?
Well, there's no use putting it off. I set the price high, so he's liable to bargain. I'm ready for that. I know how to compromise. Maddie, don't look like that.
I can't help it, Jimmy. I feel so dirty.
I'm doing this for both of us, honey. You know that. Tell me you know it.
Yes, I suppose I know it.
And you love me too, don't you? Say it, Maddie.
I love you, Jimmy.
Morning, Maddie.
Morning, Dr. Cooper. How are you?
Well, not very well this morning, I'm afraid.
Why? What's wrong?
Well, I gather you haven't heard the bad news.
No, I haven't.
It appears that I've lost a patient.
Who is it?
My problem patient. Oh, I should have known better. I should have realized that he needed more help than I was able to give him. Then this might not have happened.
You don't mean Mr. Harrison?
Yes, Mr. Harrison. I knew there was a dark and dangerous force within him, that it was getting closer to the surface every day, but I never expected anything like this.
What happened?
He killed a man, Mattie.
He what?
I saw the violence in him, but I didn't foresee this.
Who did he kill?
A blackmailer. Man's name was French, James French. He was threatening to tell Harrison's wife about a young girl Harrison was in love with. Harrison wasn't going to pay him. Harrison went to see the man, and he brought a gun with him. He shot him dead, and now the police have arrested him.
Dear God.
A blackmailer. I can't understand it. I can't understand where he could have learned such a thing. How he could have made such a terrible mistake.
A mistake? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there was no cause for blackmail, Mattie. No real cause, only the dark fantasies in his own soul.
Fantasies?
There was no girl named Diana. It was only Harrison's delusion, only a creation of his own guilt-ridden mind.
She wasn't real?
He was guilty about something that never existed. When a blackmailer threatened him, he protected his delusion with murder, the ultimate rationalization.
The ultimate rationalization. And suddenly, Mattie Sheridan's dream of the future is destroyed. But then, her dream was a rationalization too, wasn't it? She'd convinced herself that true love was more important than truth. Now, of course, she'll never know whether the love of Jimmy French was true or not. At least she's spared that cruelest of all fates. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse me, sir, but do you know what happens this time of year?
Right on, pal. I happen to know that right about now a freak blizzard falls on Dumont, New Jersey, and they're snowed in for the rest of the summer. Happens every year.
Nope. You see, what happens this time of year is that you can get a particularly good deal on what is perhaps the most luxurious midsize car on the market, the midsize Buick Century Regal.
Well, what good's a car when you're hopelessly snowed in?
Well, that's a point.
Once upon a time, there came to pass a new law, and great changes came over the people. They were happy and busied themselves at work they enjoyed. They were kind to the earth, and it gave back to them. No one had to lock doors or put fences around their land. Everyone had enough to eat. The sick and the aged were cared for. The people stood proud and tall.
In the land of make-believe, there were no poor. The Campaign for Human Development is working to make the same thing happen in our real world.
Campaign for Human Development, United States Catholic Conference.
We hope you've enjoyed this little journey into neurosis, blackmail, and murder. They're the typical sort of menu on the Radio Mystery Theater, as our loyal audience has already discovered. We plan to bring you more of the same bill of fare in the future. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to see if I've managed to oil the creak out of our door. Our cast included Augusta Dabney, Jack Grimes, Alan Hewitt, Robert Maxwell, and Joan de Marais. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale.
There's nobody in there. I'm telling you, there's nobody in there.
What happened to my husband? What did they do to my husband?
Now, calm down, ma'am. Think. Are you sure this is the same?
I'm sure. I know. Don't you try to talk me out of it. I know. I was here exactly 1.5 hours ago. I was here. This place was open. This service station was operating, and there was a man here, Frank.
How do you know his name was Frank?
Because the name was written on his shirt.
Look, ma'am, I don't know what's going on.
My husband. I want my husband. Now, what happened to him?
Ma'am, try to hold on to yourself. Don't pass out, please. Don't faint on me. I wouldn't know what to do. Here, let me help you back to the cab.
Leo, what did they do to Leo?
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Myers department stores have just received a new shipment of men's famous Wrangler blue denim flare jeans, and listen to this price, just $10.99 a pair.
If you're driving the family on a vacation this year, tell the kids they can save you some money every time they spot the sign of Sleepy Bear. Because that little bear means you found a travel lodge. And that's like finding extra money lying around. Every room has a TV, big comfortable beds, and a price tag that helps the vacation last. Look for that little bear and find yourself a travel lodge.
Listen to how America handles a headache.
Look, you got a headache, you want relief, you get Bear aspirin. It's that simple.
Oh, Bear aspirin, definitely. It's the one brand that we wouldn't be without in our home.
If I've got a choice, I'll always choose Bear. Yes, sir, more people use Bayer aspirin to relieve a headache than any other pain reliever. Bayer, it's number one. It's how America handles a headache. Use only as directed.
Bear aspirin. It's fast relief that works.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. May I be your guide once again for that trip through another world, a world of the weird and the unusual? Consider, what we are pleased to call science is based primarily on our observation of cause and effect. So, we say the rooster crows to herald the approach of dawn. But what does the rooster think? From his point of view, isn't he justified in believing that the sun rises because he commands it? In the final analysis, it all becomes a matter of perspective, doesn't it?
Hello, darling.
Hi. Dinner ready?
Just about.
Have a good day?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so happy, Carlotta. Does that mean you finally straightened out the problem that's been bothering you?
Yes, I found out how to get rid of it.
Wonderful. How?
Like this, Edmund.
Mike, what are you doing with that gun? What are you...
Our mystery drama, The Deadliest Favor, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Norman Rose and Marion Seldes. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
Excuse me, sir, but do you know what happens this time of year?
Right on, pal. I happen to know that right about now a freak blizzard falls on Dumont, New Jersey, and they're snowed in for the rest of the summer. Happens every year.
No. You see, what happens this time of year is that you can get a particularly good deal on what is perhaps the most luxurious mid-size car on the market, the mid-size Buick Century Regal.
Well, what good's a car when you're hopelessly snowed in?
Well, that's a point.
How long would it take you to read a brief 3-page pamphlet on drugs? 3 minutes? 4 minutes? Well, not very long. And it would be time well spent. For your free pamphlet, write Drugs, Box 8200, Albany, New York. That's Drugs, Box 8200, Albany, New York.
But don't wait. Time might be running out. This message nationwide brought to you by the New York State Drug Abuse Control Commission.
Listen to a tough summer wash. The machine's loaded with sweat socks, beach towels. These things aren't just dirty, they smell. If you want to make sure it comes out clean and fresh, pour Lysol brand disinfectant in your washing machine. Lysol cuts way down on germs, eliminates odors, especially important if you wash in cold water. Lysol, the brown bottle in the red and yellow box. The fast, easy, effective way to cut down on germs. Make your whole wash smell fresh and clean every time you wash.
The poet said, "He that dies pays all his debts." And while this may be true, it is neither a practical nor a popular way to discharge one's obligations. And yet, how can we ever hope to pay the vast accumulation of debt that accrues during our lifetime? Well, this has nothing to do with money. We refer rather to the true obligations when we ask, can anyone live long enough to repay all the favors extended, all the kindnesses shown, all the comforting words spoken by friends and strangers? Rare is that fortunate man or woman whose account is not in arrears.
The Prime Minister described the situation as one of the utmost gravity. And now, let us go to the West Coast, where they are having a fantastic premiere of that super-sensational million-dollar epic, Kiss of Blood. This is a premiere like they had in the good old days. Everybody who is anybody is here.
Oh, yeah, that's a long way from here, Carlotta, baby. A long, long way. I made myself this bed. I'll just have to learn to like it. Live with it.
Hello, darling.
Hi.
Anything exciting in the news?
Man said there's going to be a war, I think.
Well, that's not new.
Hungry?
Mm-hmm.
Steak and salad, okay?
Okay.
You have a good work session?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's the problem?
I don't know.
That first draft is due in 2 months, isn't it?
I just can't seem to get it down.
Well, why not?
I can't concentrate.
Up here? A million miles from no place.
Maybe that's why.
Well, but you're the one who wanted to get away from the hustle and the bustle and the hurly-burly.
Believe me, I don't miss it. I'm happy to be up here.
Then why can't you write?
Because, well, Carlotta, because I've got a guilty conscience. I feel guilty about you.
Me?
Mm-hmm. See, I don't need people. I don't need parties, theater, opening nights.
I don't either.
But, Carlotta, you were always so...
I was always... what?
Always in the middle of it, in the middle of a whole world of excitement and glamour.
No, darling. I wasn't in the middle of it. I was on the fringes. I was merely one of 2,470,000 aspiring young actresses. And that's just 1 year's crop.
Yeah, but I have a feeling it must be so dull for you up here.
Dull? I can read, I can paint.
And I get the feeling that I'm dull, too.
Edmund.
No, dear, let me say this. I'm just a writer.
Just a writer. You're the best,
And I'm not even the kind of writer who gets his name in the paper. Well, not the part of the paper anybody bothers to read.
Oh, darling, you mustn't run yourself down.
My book, my latest book, what is it concerned with?
You said you'd explain it to me.
Well, in this book, I explore the pupal and the larval stages in the development of the caddis fly.
Oh.
Exactly. Oh.
Oh, but I'm sure it must be very interesting.
Really? To whom?
Well, to those people who would be interested.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you find it exciting, don't you?
Well, yes, because it is exciting. You see, Carlotta, the caddis fly encloses himself in what he thinks is a golden protective sheath. But in reality, it's his coffin.
Ah, that sounds good.
And the fish that prey upon him, they also meet their doom.
That sounds even better.
Because the fish, in their turn, are eaten by other predators.
Well, you got plenty of action.
And listen, the largest and most powerful predator is man. Consider how we, in our turn, are eaten. Not by stronger carnivorous, but by our own artificially induced anxieties and tensions.
But that sounds great.
Yeah. But it's not the kind of thing that'll head a bestseller list or get me on the talk shows.
Is that what you want?
No, but...
But what?
Well, I have an idea. It's what you would want.
Edmund, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I've got you, and you're everything I could wish for.
Come in. Oh, Sheriff.
Afternoon, Mr. Churchill. Miss Churchill?
Well, you're just in time for dinner, Sheriff.
Well, thank you both very kindly, but I happen to be here in line of duty.
Oh, you mean there's a possibility you may have to arrest me or Mr. Churchill?
Or maybe both of us.
No, I don't think so.
What can we do for you, Sheriff?
Well, now, Mr. Churchill, it's about an old friend of yours named Mike Perry.
Mike Perry?
The Mike Perry?
Killer Mike Perry.
He's a friend of yours, Edmund?
That's what we've been told.
Well, you learn something every day.
After all these years, they finally did catch up with Killer Mike. They got him on a charge that can stick. And what does he go ahead and do? Smooth as you please, he just busts his way out of jail.
And he's here? He's up here?
Well, no, he probably ain't up here.
Well, then why are you...
The big city cops and the federals, they went and compiled this list of all his friends.
You were one of his friends, Edmund.
Well, 20 years ago, we went to school together.
And that's what I mean. We've got to run down those leads. You seen him around here, Mr. Churchill?
No, Sheriff.
If you do, you'll get in touch.
Certainly.
Well, I just done my day's work. Drive 20 miles up to see the Churchills. Ask my 2 questions, and now drive 20 miles back to town. Well, I'm sorry I bothered you folks.
That's quite all right.
Oh, drop in again anytime.
Well, goodbye now, and have a nice evening. Oh, are you going to take part in the annual fly casting contest a week from Saturday, Mr. Churchill?
You couldn't keep him away.
Well, I almost won last year, remember?
Well, Frank Miller over at the motel asked me to remind you. You haven't sent in your entry fee. It's got to be paid by tomorrow.
Oh, right. Thank you. I'm not going to be disqualified on a technicality. Would you take the money to him, Sheriff?
Oh, sure thing.
Darling, do you have $5?
Mm-hmm.
It's gone up to 10 this year. We have twice as many prizes.
Oh, well, here you are, Sheriff.
Right. Well, let me know if you hear anything or see anything. Good night.
Good night.
Edmund. This gang leader? This Mike Perry? How could he possibly have been a friend of yours?
Well, we were roommates in college.
No.
He's an educated man, Carlotta.
Then how could he...
Rob? Kill? I don't know.
And how could you associate with a gangster?
Well, he wasn't a gangster in those days. Actually, he was a history major.
Oh, darling, do you know something? If this were a movie, that door would open right now. And he'd storm in here with a gun in his hand.
No, he wouldn't do that. He'd knock on the door, and he'd politely ask permission to come in. And he'd say to me, "Well, Eddie, I'm here to collect."
Collect? What?
The debt I owe him.
What? What do you owe him?
Well, it's hard to say, Carlotta, on the face of it. I owe him $3,000.
$3,000?
$3,000 can mean a little or a lot. Depends on the situation. To me, it once meant life itself.
But you never told me.
It was tuition and living expenses for my senior year. There would be a job waiting for me in June. A job in research. A job I dreamed about. But I would need the degree. Well, my uncle, who was executor of my father's estate, gambled away the money.
And are you about to tell me that Mike Perry gave you the $3,000?
Yes.
Where'd he get the money?
He robbed a bank.
He what?
Yeah. He robbed a bank.
But...
He came into my room that day and he said, "Eddie, nobody has the right to be that down in the mouth. You look as if you're ready to hang yourself." And I said I was. And he said, "Kid, tomorrow morning, I'm going to lay that $3,000 right in your hot little hand." And he did. And when I asked him where he got it, he told me. He robbed a bank.
And you believed him?
No, he did. I said to him, "How could you?" And he said, "They got plenty of money. They'll never miss it. But for you, it's the end of the world."
And you took that money?
I took it, because at that time, without that money, it would have been the end of the world for me. But Carlotta, I'll tell you this. I repaid the bank.
You did?
After I sold my first book. I sent them $3,000 in cash. Anonymously, of course.
Oh, well then you don't owe anybody anything.
No, that's not true. I'm still indebted to Mike Perry.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't need your $3,000. They say he has millions.
I don't owe him the money, exactly. See, what I owe him is a favor.
What kind of a favor?
I don't know. Whatever he asks.
Well, what could he ask of you?
Well, when he gave me the money all those years ago, he said, Eddie, one day I'm going to come to you for a favor. Maybe to save my life, the way I just saved yours. And you better be good for it.
Well, there isn't anything you can do for him, Edmund. It's all ancient history. It's 20 years. That's so long ago. That's another world.
Yes?
And so much has happened to both of you. Oh, I'd venture to say he doesn't even remember you. Just can't get used to the idea.
What idea?
What idea? Edmund, the idea of Mike Perry being a college man and your roommate. When was the last time you saw Mike Perry?
When?
Or can't you even remember?
Oh, yeah, I can remember. The last time I saw Mike Perry was about 30 minutes ago.
Look out for the quiet people. At any rate, Mike Perry, a lord of the underworld, has come to this remote mountain area to collect a debt of 20 years standing. But is Edmund Churchill ready, willing, and able to pay it? I shall return with further news of the principal and interest shortly in Act 2.
When you drink beer, do you tilt the glass for long, hearty swallows? Or just tip it and sip it? Well, sipping's the thing for wine. But Budweiser beer is a hearty drink, brewed for zest and character. The best way to enjoy Bud is to drink it. Not chug-a-lug, just man-sized beer drinker swallows. That's when that famous Budweiser taste, smoothness, and drinkability really come through. Smoothness and drinkability that come only from natural carbonation and exclusive beechwood aging. Smoothness and drinkability, too good for any half-hearted sipping. So drink up. You'll see that brewing beer right does make a difference. And that when you say Budweiser, you've said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
It's our anniversary. 10 years. 10. But tonight we're going to live a little. 10 years. Now, I know tomorrow my head and my stomach may not feel too hot. But it's our anniversary. And if I happen to overdo it, isn't it nice there's Alka-Seltzer? 10 years.
Alka-Seltzer, with antacids for your stomach and specially buffered aspirin for your aches and pains. Use it only as directed. Isn't it nice there's Alka-Seltzer?
When we got a lot of wash we gotta do, and all the skirts and shirts are dirty through and through, that's when we're glad for Fab. Clean, so clean, lemon fresh and too. Fabs are seen a booty-yada-doo. White, so white, razzle-dazzling. Bright, so bright, you're gonna wanna sing. Oh, Fab, we're glad there's lemon fresh and for us and you.
Ladies, what do you know about your husbands? To Carlotta Churchill, Edmund, her husband, was mild, self-effacing, unassuming, a writer of books on nature. Now she has discovered that Edmund is providing refuge for Mike Perry, an underworld overlord who is a fugitive from justice. Why? Well, it seems the two men are old friends.
He's here? Mike Perry is here?
Yes, Carlotta.
Where?
In my studio, above the barn.
Then you lied to Sheriff Parker.
Yes.
But Well, you and I, we're not...
We're not what, Carlotta?
We're not the kind of people who assist gangsters, killers.
At one time, Mike Perry did me a favor. Now he's calling it in.
But the law, Edmund.
Yes, I've thought about it, and, well, sometimes you just have to.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
It's not the point.
Are you telling me that we are going to shelter this murderer?
I'm telling you I have no alternative as a man of honor.
Honor? What has honor got to do with this hoodlum? How can you pervert the word honor?
Honor is a personal thing, Carlotta.
He's come here to destroy you.
But I owe a debt to the roommate I had in my senior year. Now, please, Carlotta, try to understand.
I hope it's okay to come in.
Oh, yeah, sure. Sure, Mike, come in. Carlotta, this is Mike Perry, very old friend.
How do you do, Carlotta? Well, I must say, Eddie, your taste has improved since we were undergraduates.
Mr. Perry, my husband is under the misguided impression that he is somehow obligated to you. That's his affair. If I had my way, I would call the police.
You would? Why?
You stand for everything I find evil, vicious, and depraved in our society.
Well, surely not everything.
Well, darling, why don't I help you with dinner, huh?
I'm particular with whom I break bread. If you care to feed Mr. Perry, you'll find something in the refrigerator. Meanwhile, you'll excuse me, I have a headache.
You know, Eddie, I don't think she likes me.
Good morning, dear. I prepared breakfast.
Just coffee for me. Where's the gangster chieftain?
I put him in the spare room. Carlotta.
Yes?
Carlotta, there are certain laws that one does not violate. The law of hospitality. And it doesn't matter who a man is or what he does if he's a guest under your roof.
He's a guest under your roof, Edmund, not mine.
Good morning.
Morning. Did you sleep well, Mike?
I always sleep well.
Oh, one might think you have a clear conscience.
Like some breakfast?
Well, I can help myself, thank you.
Oh, I've been up for hours. I did some pages. Now I'll cast a few flies, sharpen up for the tournament, and maybe catch a few rainbows for lunch. Well, I'll see you both later.
Well, alone at last.
If you'll excuse me, Mr. Perry.
Oh, no, don't go. If my presence is so distasteful, I'll leave the table and have breakfast later.
Thank you.
Tell me, Carlotta, why do you hate me?
You flatter yourself. I have contempt for what you are. But hate, that's too important an emotion to squander.
Well, I'll say this for you. You don't squander it. You invested very carefully. You lowered the boom on me last night. You said I was everything vile and evil and depraved.
It's true.
Well, it's immaterial. Those are only words, but I saw something that you didn't see when you said that about me.
What do you think you saw?
The flush in your cheeks, the fire in your eyes.
Well, of course. I was angry.
Yes, I know. But show me a person who really hates something or someone. I'll tell you why. They hate because they're afraid.
Afraid of what?
Of themselves. They instinctively know. They're fascinated by that something or that someone.
Are you saying that I'm fascinated by you?
Aren't you? No, don't answer that right now. Because you're probably not aware of it. Just yet.
Hello?
Morning, Miss Churchill.
Oh, good morning, Sheriff.
Mr. Churchill about?
He's fishing. Is it important?
Well, just tell him I gave Frank Miller his entry fee, and he's all set for the contest.
Yes, I'll tell him. Oh, is there any news about the escaped gangster?
Not a whisper. Although they do think he may be headed toward this part of the country.
Oh?
When it comes to hiding out, this is as good a place as any, and better than most. Keep an eye peeled, will you, Miss Churchill?
Well, of course.
Bye now.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
For what?
For not calling in the hounds.
Had I told the sheriff you were here, I'm sure you would have killed me on the spot.
That isn't true.
You mean you're not capable of it?
Oh, no. Of course I am. But there'd be no point to it. They'd have me. Where can I go in this wilderness?
But how do you know I won't call him back?
I know. You've got a good highlight on the cliffside there. And your shadows are remarkable.
What are you...
What am I doing here? Well, I thought I'd take a walk. You're not a bad painter.
What would you know about it?
Oh, I'm quite a patron of the arts. Haven't you heard?
Oh, I can imagine.
No. People like the Medicis and the Borgias, they robbed and they killed. Yet they practically financed the Renaissance.
You know, you have delusions of grandeur.
Why did you quit?
Quit what?
The theater.
I was never in the theater.
Oh, that isn't true. I saw you in a play. It was 10 years ago. I'll never forget your performance.
You have developed flattery into a fine art.
It was a great performance. What happened?
Nothing.
Tell me the truth.
I told you. Nothing happened. I had a bit part in an off-Broadway play. I had one scene, and I stole the show. And the critics raved, and... and that was the end of it.
It couldn't be.
I never got another job.
That's impossible.
No, it's the way things can work out or not work out in the theater. So I decided to go back to school and get a degree and maybe teach.
And you married your professor.
That's right.
And you've been miserable ever since.
That's not true.
Now, go ahead, tell me. Tell me you've been deliriously happy.
Nobody is deliriously happy in this world.
That's not true. I am.
You?
Oh, yes. Because I live. Every second of every minute of every hour. I have everything I want.
But you can be shot down at any time.
And you can get hit by a truck. You abdicated from life.
I'm reconciled to it.
Reconciled? You? I saw you on the stage. I saw fire and ice.
Excuse me.
Where are you going?
I'm going back to the house.
Yes?
Please, I said I'm going back.
Well, of course. You know why? You're afraid.
Afraid of what?
Of this?
Let go of me. Please let go.
Oh, now, who are you kidding?
Let... Oh.
Now, I'll let you go.
I despise you.
Oh, sure.
And now for the news headlines. There is still no word on the whereabouts of Mike Perry, who escaped from federal custody in New York last Monday. It's believed he may be headed west. Little Dolly Prescott, the teenage sex queen, is suing...
Not so good.
Oh, they'll never think to look here, Eddie.
You can't tell. Look, don't walk around in the open. They be patrolling in helicopters.
And how long shall we be honored with your company, Mr. Perry?
Darling, Mike is welcome to stay as long as he likes.
Well, until the heat's off.
I see.
You know, Mike, I don't believe it.
What?
Well, everything I read in the papers.
You should always believe what you read in the papers, even if it isn't true.
You never killed anybody.
No one could ever prove I did.
You are the same guy I went to school with.
Sure.
I mean it. Well, I don't know what's gotten into me, but I'm writing again. 26 pages yesterday, and 9 this morning already, and I'm going to get back to that typewriter. Will you both excuse me?
Oh, sure. You know how it is when you're hot.
See you good people at cocktail time.
Well, I'll have to get out of here.
Where will you go?
Well, don't tell me you care.
You
know, I have an idea. There's going to be some heat here. It's time to make a move. The big one. Well, I'm prepared for it. I got the place all set up. There's only one thing missing. You know what that is?
I'm not interested.
Well, you should be. It concerns you.
Listen, Mr. Perry, get this straight. Nothing you do concerns me.
You're coming with me.
Where?
Ah, I caught you. Your instinctive reaction was not to say no, but where? We're leaving the country.
What makes you think...
I want you. And I get what I want. It's that simple. And besides, you want me.
What gives you that idea?
As of right now, you don't have the courage to take what you want. It's all right, I'll help you.
And what makes you think I want you?
You mean you want what you've got now? Eddie? This hermitage, a million miles from nowhere?
I'm happy.
Yes. Doing what? Every year that goes by is wasted. Soon you'll be old. Too old. Where are you running to? You see, your problem is with timing. You quit the theater too soon. You stayed with Eddie too long. Make your move. Now. You'll never get another chance.
Please. Please keep away from me.
Why?
Because
I'm right, huh? You know the poem? Full many a flower was made to blush unseen and waste its fragrance on the desert air. Don't waste the fragrance, baby. Don't.
Mike,
That's better. Oh, that's much better.
What about Eddie?
Eddie? Oh, we'll take care of Eddie.
What are you saying, Mike?
I'm saying we'll just let things work out. No. Don't move.
Edmund.
Shh. Let me just finish this paragraph. I know just how I want to say this, and if I stop, I... Carlotta! What did you do?
I want you to listen to me.
You could have torn that paper.
Edmund, please, I beg of you. Pick up that phone right now.
Why?
Do it.
All right.
Now, when the operator comes on, ask her to give you the sheriff's office and tell Sheriff Parker that Mike Perry is here.
Carlotta, how can you ask me?
I won't ask you again.
I should hope not.
I won't have the strength.
You know, I don't understand you at all.
Please call, please, before it's too late.
Too late for what? Too late for what?
Nothing. Nothing.
You mean you became so excited over nothing?
I tried. Oh, Edmund, I tried. Whatever happens, at least I did try.
If at first they don't succeed, some people will try again. On the other hand, there are others who quit. And there's a lot to be said for both points of view. Will she try again to convince Edmund? If so, how hard? Everything will be revealed in good time when I return shortly with Act 3. Hey, we're the action corps. See, we contribute more.
Tease for the teamwork of our crew. Our ideals are high. Oh, oughtn't you apply? Means it's now that we need you. A-C-T. We could go on all day. Oh. Here's why volunteers are needed right away.
Action is VISTA, the Peace Corps, RSVP, SCORE, and other volunteer programs that are helping people to help themselves. If you're trained in a skill or just have a little love to share, Action needs you.
Yeah, baby. Action really needs you.
Don't crawl under a rock. Get into action.
Oh, yeah.
This is the public service of this station and the Advertising Council.
Hey, well, what are you doing? Just putting in my 2 cents worth.
Aw, come on, honey. That's my fabulous one and only charcoal broiled burger recipe you're fooling with.
I know, but I had to put in my 2 cents worth.
2 cents worth of what?
Accent flavor enhancer, dear.
And why, may I ask, did you do that?
Because accent flavor enhancer helps us get all the good natural flavor we paid for, and all it takes is 2 cents worth per pound meat. Been using it for years.
You know, with the price of meat today, I'd be glad to pay an extra 2 cents to make sure I got the best flavor I could get. Honey, thanks for putting in your 2 cents worth.
Accent flavor enhancer. Accent has the answer. Accent flavor enhancer. Accent has the answer. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Friendship can form the strangest pairs. And one of these is Edmund Churchill, a writer of nature books, and Mike Perry, a notorious gangster. Right now, Mike is hiding out in Edmund's secluded mountain home. And far from being bored by the solitude, he is quite happy. Why not? Edmund has a lovely young wife. And as they say, all's fair.
And then Mike said to the professor, "Sir, there is every reason to believe that the Arthurian legend is based on fact. Furthermore,
I must have been a bore in those days.
Wait.
What is it?
Hear that outside?
It's a car.
Who is it, Edmund?
Coming up the hill. It's the sheriff. What would the sheriff...
Mike, go to the spare room, quickly.
All right.
Oh, Edmund, get the ashtray. Get rid of it. Everybody knows we don't smoke.
But it's no good. The smell will still be in the...
Okay. Give me one of Mike's cigarettes.
Yeah, okay.
Leave the pack on the table, and I'll say I started again if you notice.
No, wait. Something must be wrong.
What?
I don't understand why.
The table's set for 3.
Come in. What did you say, Carlotta?
Table is...
Oh, hello, Sheriff.
Hi, folks. How's that casting arm, Mr. Churchill?
Oh, it's first rate.
Well, you people having company? Table set for 3, I noticed.
It's lunchtime. I saw your car coming up the hill, so I set another plate. Join us?
Don't mind if I do. That platter of roast beef looks great.
Sheriff, what's going on?
Well, tell you, I figure Mike Perry's gonna head this way.
You do? Why?
Because he's that type of person. He does the unexpected. Goes where you'd never dream to look for him.
But to come here?
Every place else is right on. And my theory is he's headed this way. Well, I see you started smoking again.
Yes, ever since this thing started, I've been so nervous.
Oh, there's nothing to worry about.
Well, we're not worried. It's just...
We're going to patrol this whole area. On foot, in cars, by helicopter. We'll get him.
That is, if your hunch is correct.
Well, I got a feeling. There's more than a hunch. It's based on a pretty fair analysis of all the known factors. Now, could I trouble you for a slice of that terrific roast beef?
Morning, Carlotta.
You slept late.
Where's Eddie?
Oh, fishing.
That's become a big thing with him.
He's got the contest coming up on Saturday.
We have to get out of here.
Mike.
I don't like that sheriff.
Oh, he's just...
Just what? A hick constable? Don't sell him short. He makes smart moves.
Where could you go?
Where could we go? Remember that we.
Well, where?
Out of the country.
But what's the good? You'll be extradited.
What for?
Well, for...
I'm not wanted for crimes like murder. All I have on me is income taxes. Maybe embezzlement. There are plenty of places where they can't extradite you.
But...
Come with me.
But... Edmund.
I said we take care of Edmund.
No.
Carlotta, come into a new world. The world of the people who have power. It's a world where rules have no meaning.
But Edmund's such a good person.
Good, bad, they mean nothing. You do what must be done.
And I'm not sure that I can.
And stay here.
Oh, Mike,
Where we're going, I have a palace, a yacht. There's nothing you can't have. Name it, it's yours.
But I don't want just things.
I'll buy you a theater, your own company, act, star.
Oh, Mike.
Everything, anything,
Mike.
yours for the asking. This is my world. I want to share it with you.
But what's supposed to happen to Edmund?
Edmund must be taken care of.
You mean killed?
There's nothing personal involved. I even like Eddie.
No.
There's no other way. When he finds out we're gone, he calls the sheriff. Now, look, I've been told there's only one road out of these mountains.
Yes, it leads right through the main street of Council Forks, 20 miles from here.
Well, we'll have to chance it.
No, it's dangerous.
At night, late, I'll wear a hat. I do look a little like Eddie. We'll be moving pretty quickly. Yes, we'll go as soon as it gets dark. The stores will be closed. No one will be on the streets.
But Mike, it's still a 3-hour drive through these hills before we get to the turnpike. Suppose the sheriff should call here.
He won't.
Oh, how can you be sure?
Call him. And here's what to tell him.
Sheriff Parker speaking.
Oh, Sheriff, I just called to tell you we're leaving.
Leaving? When?
This evening, we received a call from Mr. Churchill's agent. He has to be in Hollywood by tomorrow afternoon.
Will we be seeing him on the screen?
Well, you'll be seeing characters from his book.
Well, good luck.
And we won't be back for, well, I don't know how long.
Well, maybe it's for the best. Might have been dangerous if that gangster fella showed up.
Well, we'll see you when we return. Goodbye, Sheriff.
Bye now. Oh, tell Mr. Churchill I'll get back. Miss Churchill? Miss Churchill? Well, I guess she hung up. It doesn't matter. I can catch them when they come through town.
Mike,
You what?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Of what?
Of anything.
Come here.
No, that won't help.
Yes, it will.
Oh, Mike. I'm so frightened.
You should be. You know why? You're crossing the line.
Promise me you won't hurt Edmund.
Of course. Are you packed?
Yes.
Okay. When he comes in, you go out to the car.
You won't hurt him. Promise.
I promise.
Well, greetings.
Well, just in time for a drink, Eddie.
Oh, I'm in great form. Shame you can't come to town with us Saturday and watch the contest.
Well, I'll keep amused.
Fix you something, darling?
Who? Me?
Join us?
I don't think so. I feel so... it's a little stuffy in here. I think I'll get a breath of fresh air.
Listen, Carlotta. I appreciate this.
What?
Well, what you're doing. It's plain you have no use for Mike, and you're going against your code of morality. I know it's uncomfortable for you, but you're doing it for me, and, well, I think you're wonderful.
Goodbye, Edmund.
Goodbye? Where are you going?
Oh, just for a walk.
Well, Mike, here's to us.
Yes, Eddie. To us.
She's right, but she doesn't understand how it used to be between you and me.
Of course not.
But after this is over, we're finished, Mike. We're square.
If that's how you want it.
It can't be any other way.
That's right. It can't be any other way.
Mike, what are you doing with that gun?
Well, you see what I'm doing. I'm aiming it.
Mike, why?
Because I have no choice. As you said, it can't be any other way.
Well, why? I mean, why do you want to kill me?
I don't want to kill you, Eddie. I have to. And therefore...
Mike, it's me. It's Eddie.
If you stand still, Eddie, you won't feel a thing.
Mike, no!
Mike! You killed him!
Yes, I killed him.
You promised!
I promised I wouldn't hurt him. And I didn't. He died instantly.
Oh, no. Oh, I didn't realize.
Yes, you did. You did.
No. I don't want to go with you.
You have to go. You have no choice. You just crossed the line.
Mike, please hold me close.
Now, dear, I have to drive with two hands, especially when we go through town.
Oh, slow down. The local cops love to pick up people for speeding.
Not much of a town.
Well, we chose the right hour. All the stores are closed. People have finished dinner. The movie won't break for at least an hour. I'm so nervous.
It's all right. Everything's all right.
Edmund, I'd never stop being sick.
You'll be okay. Up ahead. Is that a police car?
It's the sheriff's car.
I think somebody's in it.
But we have to go down this street, but...
Well, why not? He can't suspect anything. It's dark. He won't recognize me. Look, as we go by, you wave at him.
All right.
There's nothing to be scared of. Now, give him a loud, cheerful goodbye. And a big wave.
Hi, Sheriff.
Hi, Miss Churchill.
There. You see? There's nothing to it. We're in the clear. You don't have to look back.
Mike, he's pulling away from the curb.
Okay, that doesn't mean he's after us.
Mike, he's following us.
Now, don't panic. Maybe he's heading someplace else.
Where? This road leads away from town. There's nothing for more than 80 miles. He's after us. Why?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? You know everything.
Shut up.
He's after us. Look, he's gaining on us.
I'll lose him.
He wants us. Oh,
Hold the wheel. Hold the wheel steady. Steer.
Don't shoot at him.
I got a gamble. He hasn't
Don't.
hit the radio yet. I can stop it.
No, don't.
Steer to the right.
No.
Hold the car steady.
They're firing back at us. They're shooting back.
Get away from the wheel. Get away from the wheel. Move away.
And I have with me here a man who captured the fugitive gangster Mike Perry, our own Sheriff Pete Parker. Sheriff, what's the story?
I didn't know anything. I saw them drive by in the car, and I thought it was Mr. Churchill with her. And since he was not going to be here for the fly casting tournament on Saturday, I wanted to give him back his entry fee. After all, it was $10, and that don't grow on trees, you know.
Of course not. But that $10 discharged the debt. And while we don't know who did win that fishing contest the following day, the grand winner should be Sheriff Parker, who caught the biggest fish of all the night before. We're going to catch you for some more Mystery Theater when I return in a few moments.
Pardon me, miss. Can you tell me what happens this time of year?
Rhubarb reaches its peak.
Nope.
Muskmelon reaches its peak?
No.
Oh, does it in any way involve something reaching its peak?
No, not really.
Oh.
What happens this time of year is that you can get a really outstanding deal on Buick's small but surprisingly elegant Apollo. And with what's happening to prices, you may never have a better chance to buy a Buick, huh?
Hey, I know what happens.
Yeah?
The buzzards come back to Hinckley Ridge, Ohio.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
And so does that.
Sure, I've heard that phrase, give to the college of your choice. Good idea. And I know all colleges need more money, what with inflation and all. It's just that since I graduated, I've been so busy, not just with my career, but with the community affairs, too,
I haven't found the time to reevaluate.
Take the time now and give more to the college of your choice. Now.
A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
Certain emotions slumber inside each of us. We lead lives that may have nothing to do with our true desires. And then one day, a Mike Perry can arrive to awaken a Carlotta Churchill. Well, we certainly hope there are no Carlottas among our listeners. And if any of you are even contemplating a Carlotta-like move, tune us in instead. You'll get all the vicarious enjoyment with none of the actual penalties. Our cast included Marion Seldes, Norman Rose, Ralph Bell, and Dan Ocko. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale.
What's a young guy like you doing with all white hair?
I swapped for it, Mr. Halpert. I can swap anything I got for anything you've got. And what you got is plenty of money.
And years, kid. Too many years.
I'll take them off your back. You just say yes. That's all you have to do.
Okay. That's enough. Beat it.
Look, you gotta believe me, Mr. Halpert. Give me a chance to prove it. You don't have to pay me off until it works. I mean, what would you give to be 26 years old again?
$1 million, kid. That's what I'd give. What kind of pills you peddling?
Would you give me $1 million?
Just like that?
Just say yes, Mr. Halpert. The rest is easy. Only don't try double-crossing me, because once we make the swap, it's final. I get the $1 million, you get to be 26. Is that a deal?
Sure. It's a deal.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, and Buick Motor Division. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Freeze is on at Kroger, and that means savings for you, because from now until October 12th, Kroger is freezing prices on over 500 different items. It's true. For 60 days, the prices on hundreds of name brand items you use most often, will not change. That's a promise. So look for the blue shelf marker on over 500 items in your Kroger store. They tell you exactly which prices are frozen during the big price freeze, going on at Kroger from now until October 12th.
Whisk. Thursday night on Sports Central, we'll look at auto racing, specifically the Big Bend Bash, an auto rally like the Baja race on the West Coast. Our guest, Sasha Lance, the rally master for the Big Bend Bash. Our first sports question, who is the Grand Prix Formula One driving champion for 1973? Sports Central Dallas, weekdays, 6 to 7 p.m. Thursday, the Big Bend Bash, right here on KRLD.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. For 75 years, from the late 18th to the middle of the 19th century, was the heyday of the writers of the Gothic story. Here is one of the most popular, which the great composer von Weber used as the libretto of the opera Der Freischütz. And appropriately enough, it begins in a graveyard.
William
Don't let that gun touch my headstone.
Sorry, Mother.
You have much to be sorry for.
I could not help it. Mother, I love her. I must.
You broke your sacred oath, sworn on my deathbed. You will have cause to regret it, but more so the bride who will never be yours.
Our mystery drama, The Fatal Marksman, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Michael Wager and Suzanne Grossman. It is sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, and Buick Motor Division. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
Ever had a tall, frosty glass of Amplitude? Well, if your beer is Budweiser, you've had it often. Amplitude is a fancy word for the entire taste phenomenon, the total experience of flavor. Next time you take a healthy swallow of Bud, watch what happens. Think about the sensations you're experiencing. Notice how the flavor of Bud comes on nice and easy. Not too strong, not too quick, just right. Notice the clean, crisp togetherness of Bud's taste. Everything in perfect balance, with no single element jumping out at you. And there'll be no aftertaste either, no hanging on. And you'll be refreshed and ready for another glassful. Actually, Bud drinkers have been experiencing Amplitude for years, but they never phrase it that way. They just say Budweiser, and that says it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
It's a beautiful day. I'm waxing my car, and my neighbor comes out with antifreeze. And I say, antifreeze now? And he starts to sing.
You can never buy Prestone too early. Do it now, don't you wait. You can never buy Prestone too early. You can only buy it too late.
Sounds crazy, but a 50-50 mix of Prestone 2 winter-summer formula and water, about 2 gallons for most cars, helps prevent boil-over even in traffic jams, because it helps your cooling system handle heat better than water. Fresh boil-over protection and fresh corrosion protection, too, because only Prestone 2 has a patented silicone silicate inhibitor system. Nothing beats it for corrosion protection. Summer, winter, all year round, you can never buy Prestone too early. You can only buy it too late.
If you can't trust Prestone,
who can you trust?
No one in the Duchy of Groustenland would have argued that Catherine Adam, daughter of the forester of Linden, was the loveliest bride in West Germany, and that Robert Stock, the hunter, was a lucky man to be getting her for his bride. No one except Catherine and her mother, that is. For Catherine was very much in love with William Brager, a young bailiff's clerk. But kind as her father, Bertram Adam, was, on the subject of his daughter's marriage, he was inflexible.
Now listen, Elsa, once and for all. Drive this notion out of your head, root and branch.
But, Bertram, why shouldn't our Catherine live just as happily with a bailiff's clerk as with a hunter?
Elsa, for better than 200 years, this farm in the forest of Linden has come down from father to son in my family. If I had a son, our Kate could marry whom she willed.
It's my fault that I wasn't able to give you a son.
I wouldn't change her for any son in the world. No more than I would change you for anything in the world.
No, you, Bert. We've had wonderful years together. And I could only wish the same for Kate. That's why I argue so hard for William. He's such a good, kind-hearted boy.
Kind-hearted, maybe. But not a hunter. And if anything happens to me, unless there is a son, a hunter in my family, to replace me, there goes our tenancy. And you are left with nowhere to live.
But William and Kate would take me in with them.
Take you in with them? Where? Where could they afford to live on a bailiff clerk's salary?
He won't be a bailiff's clerk forever.
Long enough for all we know.
Not William. Oh, no. He has a good head on his shoulders. And when he gets to be a bailiff, what a step up in life for our daughter.
No, wife. Kate will marry Robert.
But she doesn't like Robert.
All right. It's not altogether Robert I care about myself. So, Robert or no Robert, you tell Kate it must be a lad of the forest. I know she put you up to this. 2:00. Well, late enough for dinner today. I'd best back to my preserves.
Kate, you can come out now. Well, did you hear? Enough to know he won't agree. He has his reasons. He's just a stubborn old man, and I'll never forgive him. I'll run away. Oh, hush now. You don't mean anything you're saying. I do. I'll never marry anyone. I'll take the vows. Come now, Kate. Stop making a scene. It's William or no one. Oh, you're as stubborn as your father. What am I going to do? Oh, who could that be? Go see like a good girl. Yes, Mother. William!
Kate.
Oh,
Oh. Kate, your mother present.
Will, take me away, please.
Kate,
My father won't let me marry you. He says I must marry a hunter or no one.
Is this true, Frau Adam?
I'm afraid so, William. You see, we only hold the farm as tenants, and here Adam his title of forest ranger only so long as there is a hunter in the family to pass them on to. Which means that Kate must be married to a forester.
Tell me, love, would you prefer me as a hunter or a bailiff?
Oh, I wouldn't care what you were, darling, as long as we could spend our lives together. You can't suddenly turn yourself into a hunter within a few weeks, William.
Don't be too sure of that, Frau Adam.
Oh, what do you mean?
I can't tell you now, but could you give me your word to keep the Herr Adam from betrothing Kate to anyone for 3 days?
How could that help?
There's a place I have to visit where I was born, and a question I must have answered before I can let you know.
What?
Whether or not you and I can be the ones to be betrothed and married, and with your father's consent. It took most of what money I had to pay my coach fare to Manfredstein, and it was long past dark when I was dropped off. The best I could afford at the inn was a bowl of soup, and by the time I set off for the graveyard, the heel's end of the moon was all the light I had, skittering in and out of the clouds, driven over it by a scudding wind. It was still before midnight when I dug up my father's rifle where it had lain beside his grave, the oilskin still unrotted by the damp, the case still not pierced by the worms, and the gun itself in the fitful moonlight, still gleaming with the thick coat of oil I'd put on it myself. And now the worst part, to cross the few steps to my mother's grave and stand there waiting for the midnight hour. The only time they say you can speak to a ghost. The church bell was sounding the magic hour as I knelt, faultlessly leaning the gun against the headstone.
William, don't let that gun touch my headstone.
Sorry, Mother.
You have much to be sorry for. I know why you come.
I had to, Mother. I love her.
You want to break your sacred oath, sworn on my deathbed. If you do, you will have cause to regret it. But more so the bride who will never be yours.
She will never be mine unless you release me from the oath.
I have no power to release you, even if I wanted to. That's the last I can ever say to you.
Mother, don't make me break my oath. Don't.
Mother.
She's gone. I had hoped against hope my mother could change, but I knew in my heart when I came that my mind was already made up one way or another. And the main thing that had
brought me home was to find my father's gun. It took me 2 full days and a night to retrace my way along the road to the coach had brought me. And dusk was beginning to fall when, exhausted, famished, and dirty from the road, I knocked on the door of the Adams house.
William! Oh, Will, darling, come in. Where have you been? Where...
Forgive me. No food, water, no sleep,
Bert, get some schnapps.
Right away, Elsa.
Mother, he's not... No, he's just fainted. Get that big case out of the way, whatever it is.
Oh, that's a gun case. That's good quality, too. I wonder
if you'd forget guns just long enough to get some schnapps into this poor boy.
No, I'm all right. I can get up.
Yeah, now, get some of this into your belly first. And put some strength in your legs.
Oh, I feel better now. Thank you.
What happened to you, darling?
Nothing happened to me. I did it all to myself. And for us, I can get up now.
Yeah, I'll help you up.
Oh, thank you. I just overdid a little.
Well, now, what have you been up to?
I went to fetch my father's gun. My father was Forester General Wilbrager of Manfredstein. So if it's a hunter you want for your son-in-law, it's a hunter you've got.
Kate, will you come away from that window and help me get the meal ready for those men? They should be home soon.
That's why I'm watching, Mama.
And doing a little praying, too, I suppose.
That Will shoots straight and true. He must be very out of practice.
From the way he handled his gun this morning when they were getting ready to leave, I don't think it'll take him long to get his eye back.
Oh, Mama, are you sure?
Who can be sure? The proof is in the pudding. Oh, which reminds me, the dough for my apple strudel, if I let that too long in the oven...
Oh, Will, my darling, shoot true. Straight and true as my love for you.
Perfect shot! Ho! Dropped him in his tracks. He never even felt it. Will, you studied well with your father. You stay with me, and before we are finished, we'll make you a second Kuno.
Kuno?
You don't know Kuno? Why, he was my father's grandfather, and the first man who ever occupied this forest and cultivated this farm. When his good fortune happened, he was a riding boy to a young gentleman of Whipper. And one day, attending him while he was riding hunt with the Duke, the dogs turned up a stag on the back of which a man was bound.
Oh, I've heard of that. The lords used to punish poor men who had poached by binding him like that so the herd would gore him to death, or he would eventually die of thirst or hunger.
Right. Now, the Duke was a stern but just man, and he had made a law against stag binding. And he wanted the man taken alive to find out who had broken his law. So he offered a reward to any huntsman who would bring down the stag without hurting the man.
But if the man was shot and killed...
He threatened the shooter with equal displeasure and his banishment from court.
I'll wager none of the nobility were eager to take that gamble, but Kuno did.
Aye, lad. That very man whose picture you might have seen hanging above the mantelpiece of the house.
Oh, I noticed him all right. He had an eye like a hawk.
And nerves of steel. Well, just as the stag turned into a thicket, he clapped his gun to his shoulder and fired. At that same moment, out rushed the stag, staggered and fell, and the man, unwounded, save for some scratches.
And the reward was the farm and the title of forest ranger.
To Kuno himself and his heirs forever.
Oh, what a magnificent reward for one shot.
Aye. So thought many people, especially those who had been afraid to take the risk. And so the gossip started. And since it was the nobility mainly who wished to save their faces, what did they do but persuade the Duke that Kuno's shot hit the mark through witchcraft and the black arts?
But surely the Duke knew what a fine shot Kuno was.
Well, it was the quickness of the thing, you see. Kuno could line up a target as fast as lightning, but the others argued that it was so fast he just fired at random. They said he never took aim, which makes it a double shot. A devil shot never fails of hitting the mark.
But the Duke didn't take away the farm.
No. But from there came the regulation that every descendant of Kunos must fire a probationary shot that drops the deer before he's admitted as tenant.
If I may only know that Kate might be mine, I shall practice every moment to make sure I cannot miss.
Good lad. After today, you have my confidence.
Suddenly, the sun went out. The forest greenery changed to weird and ghostly shapes. And standing in front of me was the corpse gray shade of my mother, clad only in her winding sheet.
I want you, Will. I want you. Only God can help you now.
With everything he wants in the world almost within his grasp, this spectral wraith of his mother seems to threaten Will with disaster. Or is she only a figment of the imagination, the prick of conscience in a young man's mind, already overtired and heady with excitement of the oath that circumstance is forcing him to break? I'll return shortly with Act 2.
Say, do you know what happens this time of year?
The swallows come back to Capistrano.
Nope.
The buzzards come back to Hinkley Ridge, Ohio.
No.
Bulldogs all over the world begin to shed.
Not even close.
Oh.
This, my friend, is the time of year when you can get a super little deal on the practical but elegant Buick Apollo. And just between you and me, it may very well be the best chance you'll ever have to buy a Buick.
I could have sworn this was Buzzard Day in Hinkley.
Stanley Myron Handelman.
Did you know you can have a college grad's career without 4 years of college? All you need is a year or two of technical education to work in fields like engineering, health service, automotive design, and forestry. The facts are in a free booklet called 25 Technical Careers in 2 Years or Less. Just write, Careers, Washington, D.C., 20202.
A public service message of this station and the Advertising Company.
It was an exciting and wonderful dinner that night for the Adams and Will. In the warmth and regard of his future father-in-law, the unutterable delight of his bride-to-be, Will was almost able to forget that frail, grieving wraith who had faced him in the forest. But as day succeeded day, and the time of the trial drew nearer and nearer, the memory of his dead mother and her agony over his broken oath haunted him more and more.
Will? Darling, what brings you home so early?
You can see.
Oh, not an empty bag again. What's the matter? What's happened?
Kate, darling, I don't know. I'll have a deer in my sights and the gun will misfire. I'll come upon a partridge at point-blank range and my shot will veer and hit a tree 3 feet to the left. I swear I think that gun is enchanted.
You're just having a run of bad luck. It happens to every hunter, even father.
Not like this. And the worst of it is he's blaming it now on sheer heedlessness on my part. He thinks that all I think about is you.
Well, at least some of the time you do, don't you?
Oh, Kate, I have to struggle very hard to keep you out of my mind. I love you so. And that makes it even worse because I'm beginning to think my fear is affecting my shooting.
What fear?
I fear that your father will change his mind and that he'll withdraw his approval of our marriage.
But he knows how well you shoot. You proved it to him that first day. Your hunting bag was bulging, and you dropped that great stag whose antlers hang there beside my ancestor Kuno's portrait.
That was 1 day out of 2 weeks.
What you have done once, you can do again. For me. Here, Will. Here's your gun. It still lacks 15 minutes of 3, and the sun is still high. For me. For your Catherine. Bring me a heart. Take the dogs to be sure to round up one. And my heart and my prayers to bring you luck.
By heaven, I will. Or not show myself again. There's a prize buck. Let me just Get a bead on you, my beauty. Not 50 paces away. I can't miss. I couldn't have missed him. I couldn't. Kate, forgive me. I'll reload and still bring you your game. And be damned to whatever devil may try to lay his curse on me.
Hey, hold fast, comrade. What ails a man to cry out so on a day such as this one?
I turned in my tracks. And there, sitting under a nearby tree, was an old soldier with a wooden leg and a dusty, travel-worn uniform. Threadbare and barely holding together.
Well, is it body or purse that's ailing? Health or wealth that escapes you? Or has someone put a spell on your gun?
What did you say about my gun?
Oh, man and boy, I've spent my life with guns. And if I say it as shouldn't, as no one knows more about them than I do. I see you looking at my wooden leg.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant no harm.
Oh, it happened so long ago, I never think of it. Cavalry sabers separated that from me. You wouldn't have a bit of tobacco you could share with an old soldier?
Why, yes. Just a minute.
Here, let me hold your gun while you dig it out. That's as fine a piece as I have ever seen. No man could have missed that buck with this unless it had been charmed.
Oh, I never thought on that. Here's your tobacco, sir.
Oh, thank you. I'll just take a pipe load. And,
oh, keep it. I have more at home. Charmed, you say? Then all I'd have to do would be to change my gun and...
Oh, not so fast. If the spell has been properly laid, you'll have no better luck with any other gun.
Oh, I can't believe that. If no gun I put to my shoulder will shoot true, how then can I ever be a forester?
Draw near. I like you, lad, for your generosity, and I'll pose you a riddle, for which, if you have not the answer, I'll give it to you.
What riddle?
If the gun refuses to bring down the prey, what else lets the huntsman have his way?
Oh, I'm afraid I don't know the answer to that.
Why, the ball, lad, the bullet.
But where could I find such a bullet?
Why, it just so happens that I have about me some gifted bullets that cannot fail to go true. Now, just give it a try now. No, I'll answer for it, no doubt.
Oh, I hate to waste a shot knowing I shall miss before I pull the trigger. The dogs have lost the deer. Where shall I find a target?
I'll pick one for you. Hey, look up. You see yon kite up there? Bring him down.
Oh, well, not only is he almost out of range, but he's but a speck. I can scarce see him.
Still take aim and fire, never doubt.
Well, what have I got to lose?
That's the spirit I like. Fire away!
I hit him.
'Tis no surprise.
But where would one find bullets like these?
Oh, 'tis not difficult to cast them. Hey, here's a few braces of my bullets for you in exchange for the tobacco. Try another.
I don't know how to thank you.
Hey, lad. You'll find your own way. See that hare? Drop him.
I hit him. Old soldier, how could I... Oh. I turned to thank my benefactor again, but he had slipped away into the forest as silently as he had come. One mistake I made. I shrank from telling anyone, not even my beloved Kate, of the gifted bullets.
Oh, Ilse, now. So much for your nonsense about enchantments on Will's gun.
Enchantments?
Mama was afraid that someone had cast a spell over you or your gun.
Oh, women and their superstitions.
Well, men are just as bad, if not worse.
Not foolish enough to imagine some devil knocked down old Kuno's portrait when anyone knows it was a cankered nail.
What's that about a devil?
Oh, nothing but nonsense.
This afternoon, just shortly after you went back to the forest, the picture fell off the wall.
How long after I left the house?
Not over 15 minutes, just as the clock was striking 3.
You see how foolish the whole thing is? 3. The luckiest hour of the day.
Lucky for me, at least, I thought, remembering that it was just about the time I met the old soldier. I was tempted to speak about him, but my pride held me back. For within a few days, I was the talk of all the foresters again. No one brought more game home than I. But my stock of the enchanted bullets was running desperately low, and I prayed to find old wooden lug. And to my horror, I was down to a single bullet, which I had to hoard for the competition. And suddenly every shot began again to go astray. And then the final blow struck.
Will, where are you?
I'm here, Herr Adam.
Now, what's this? Why are you not ready to go hunting?
I don't feel very well.
I couldn't care less if you were about to take to your deathbed. You know the Duke has sent an emissary ordering nearly double the amount of venison necessary for the festival. It'll take every huntsman within the next 10 miles to bring in enough to satisfy his honor.
Well, what good am I to you? I'll only waste the bullets. You know I've lost my eye.
You have lost more than your shooting eye if you don't bring in your fair share of the game today. Now, you'll have lost my daughter.
But you promised me
I promised a forester, not some mealy-mouthed quill pusher who can only see to shoot on certain days. Now, make haste while I bring the dogs around.
Oh, Will, I overheard. What are you going to do?
Kate, I don't know. Hand me my bag.
Here, darling. Surely, for my sake, somehow you can down a buck to death.
Hand me my gun. Kate, as I promise you, I'll bring at least one home if I have to club him to death with a gun stock. I threaded my way through the trees in despair. Kate, I had resolved, to me was lost. Which way to lose her? To use my magic bullet now and escape her father's displeasure only to fail the competition shot? Or to hang on to the bullet for the Duke's competition? Of a sudden, a ridge away through the trees, I saw a herd of deer coming. Automatically, I loaded the last precious bullet in the breech, aimed my gun, but still my finger refused to squeeze off a shot.
Fire away, boy, fire! You'll never have a better chance. I promise you'll hit not one but two.
Coming down the hill towards me, waving encouragement, old wooden leg. Secure now that I could get at least one more charm bullet, I turned and fired. He was right. I had got not one but two roebucks with one shot. I turned to hurry and meet him and greet him, but there was no sign of him. He was gone, as if the earth had literally opened up and swallowed him. And all my hopes with him.
What a shot, Kate. You should have seen your husband-to-be. You would have been proud of him. 2 bucks at one shot.
One might almost think it was a magic bullet.
Oh, women and their superstitions. Is that what happened, Will, eh? Did you make yourself a magic bullet, like the scandalous charge they tried to make about old Kuno 2 centuries ago?
I beg your pardon here. Adam, what did you say?
Will isn't feeling himself today. Sometimes I wonder about the stories of old Kuno and the devil's shot.
Kuno's was no devil's shot.
Are you saying there is no such thing?
Oh, there's always gossip of such a thing. You say that's how Peter Franz died. They found him on the road all torn and clawed to pieces.
By whom?
One thing he never could say in his confession to the magistrate.
What did he say to the magistrate?
Why, that he and some old wooden-legged soldier had been trying to make some magic bullets.
Did he say how such a bullet could be made?
Oh, it is all a pack of nonsense, of course, but for the sake of a good tale to give us all the goosebumps, you must go to a crossroads, make a circle with a bloody sword, and in this circle lay a skull and bones crosswise. On the stroke of 11, you start to cast the balls. 60 and 3. No more, no less. Nor must you step from out that charmed circle, no matter what apparitions appear, or shrieks rend the air, or owls or bats or other hideous things might beat against you, until the last stroke of 12. And of the bullets cast, 60 will carry true, and only 3 can miss. Peter was so scared at whatever happened to him inside that circle that long before 12 he fled from it. And little more could he tell before he died in horrible agony.
Oh, God preserve all God-fearing folk from such snares of Satan. You frightened the heart out of me. And look at Will. He's pale as a sheet.
The poor darling hasn't been feeling well all day. You should never have forced him to the hunt, Papa.
True enough. He said he was out of sorts. Well, God grant he be the same way when the provisional shot comes up day after tomorrow, so he may shoot as he shot today.
But Will Brager, knowing now the secret of the bullet that could not miss, would sleep little that night. Knowing what preparations he had in mind for the morrow and what he planned to do, he knew that this night might well be his last above ground. I'll return shortly with Act 3.
Cigarette?
No need for that. I'm ready.
Blindfold?
Dash it, man. Let's get it over with.
As you wish. Ready!
Henry, wake up.
Huh?
You're dreaming again. Your tax audit?
Yeah, today's the day.
But you got all your records together.
Well, yes, I do. Aren't you coming?
You don't need me. You're ready.
Can I help you, sir? You're here for an audit.
Uh-huh.
Won't you have a seat?
Thank you.
Well, now, let's see.
If you have good records of your income and receipts for your deductions, an audit of your federal income tax return can be easier than you think.
How did it go, Henry?
No problem. Nothing I couldn't handle.
This message presented on behalf of the Internal Revenue Service.
Right now, you can get True Value Hardware Store's own True Test Standard Latex paint at special low prices. Hi, Frank Lieber here to tell you that you can take your pick, house paint or interior paint, just $4.99 a gallon. True Test Standard Latex House Paint resists fumes, alkali, blistering, and fading. It comes in white or ready-mix colors. True Test Standard Interior Latex normally covers in just one coat. It comes in pastels or white. Take your pick, just $4.99 a gallon. Or get True Test Woodsman Solid Color Latex Stain. It resists fading and blistering. It lasts twice as long as conventional oil stain, and it cleans up in soap and water. 21 rustic flat colors, just $5.88 a gallon. True Value Hardware Stores make True Test paint in their own paint factories. Their reputation as paint specialists rests on the quality of that paint. Get True Test paints at special low prices now during the Labor Day paint sale exclusively at True Value Hardware Stores.
That same night, once all the rest were asleep, Will stole from the house. Then, having borrowed a spade and a sack, he stole away to the nearest graveyard. Well before dawn, he returned with a skull, 2 thigh bones, and a sword. The bones still caked with earth, and the sword rusted in the scabbard from their sojourn in some unnamed soldier's grave. After cleaning them off carefully, he stole back into the house, hiding them under his bed. It was nearly dawn before he fell into a deep sleep, just before the rest of the house awakened.
Well, I'm off. I'll pick off a couple of bags of Cornish hen to garnish the table for the Duke. Oh, Will still asleep?
You gave him the day off. Quite right, too. The boy should be well rested for his ordeal tomorrow.
I'll see you later, Elsa. And Kate, you look a little peaked. Anything wrong?
No. No, Papa.
Is it the closeness of marriage that gives you the trembles?
Oh, now off with you. 'Tis Will that concerns her, Bert.
Oh, have no fear for Will. He will not miss. His bullet will find his mark. Well, I won't lack companionship. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Oh, you know, you do look pale and wan, love. Why not rest a little?
No. No, there's too much to do.
Will has been so strange since last night, too. You haven't quarreled.
No, nothing like that. It's silly, really, Mama. Just a dream I had last night. Dreams have no meaning, do they?
Tell me about it.
Well, it isn't really much to tell. I dreamed I was a white dove.
Oh, a happy omen for a bride, surely.
Except that I wasn't flying free. There was a ring around my neck. It was holding me. I wanted to fly away, but couldn't. And then there was a loud noise, and I fell. I fell down beside you, and you were kneeling beside me, and Will was turning to look at us in agony. And I saw that you were all covered with blood.
Me?
My blood, Mother. My blood.
It was too late. The die was cast. Tonight, I would try to forge the magic bullets.
So, a little wine for all of us. For this night, we will keep the bridal feast.
Tomorrow 'twould be impossible with the Duke and his retinue here.
This is our last chance as a family, before the wedding, to dine confidentially and affectionately. Prosit.
Prosit. All the best of luck.
Prosit.
Rosie. And all the best of luck.
But it is tomorrow. The young people will be happiest.
The Duke has insisted the vicar be there. And the moment Will has passed his examination... Who knows? Picture has fallen again. What the devil can be the matter with that nail?
Kate, there's blood on your face.
It's nothing. The corner just grazed my temple as it fell.
Let me see.
No. It's already wiped away. Please, let's begin the wedding feast. We've waited too long already.
Instead of a feast, the evening was a nightmare for me. By 8 o'clock, I was getting desperate. How could a man steal away from his own bridal festival? Then with the last strike here, Adam broke it up, and we all, after exchanging kisses and handshakes and hugs of affection, went to bed. It was a long, long wait for me until at last 9 o'clock struck, and gathering the lead bullet mold, coals, and all the other requisites into my sack, I stole quietly downstairs and out of the house. I was less than 200 yards from the house when I heard the rapid patter of feet catching up with me.
Will, where are you?
Go back to the house.
Where are you going?
Somewhere you cannot follow me.
You're running away.
Running away from you? What would make you think that?
That bag over your shoulder. Don't you want to marry me?
Want to? Oh, God, Kate, if I can't be married to you, then I don't want to live.
That's how I feel about you.
Then go quickly back to bed and leave me to do what must be done.
If I let you go now, I may never see you again.
I'm going so we can be together for the rest of our lives.
We're starting that this minute. I'm going with you.
You can't. You don't understand. There's terrible danger.
If you can face it, so will I.
How can I explain it to you? There isn't time.
You can explain to me on the way to wherever we're going.
I will not allow you to come.
Now, you listen to me. I want to spend my life with you. But in the light of the moon, I can see the shadow of possible death in your eye. If it's death you're to find tonight, then I choose to find that with you. Whatever our future is, it lies together. Now, shall we get started? And you can explain to me what it's all about as we go.
It was a long walk to the crossroads, but even at that I was still finishing my story to a cafe struck dumb by the time I had drawn my circle with the bloody sword, spread the bones, and started my cohort. 10 o'clock had struck on the church steeple long ago, and it was hard by 11. All was in readiness as the moon buried itself deeper and deeper in the clouds. There was a faint pattering of rain that hissed on my ladle where the lead melted in the heat, and all about were the sounds of spats and howls and other horrible, light-shunning things that came and went as Kate clung to me in dismay.
Oh, Will, I should never have been the cause of your breaking your oath to your mother.
My mother would forgive me, I know. Kate, there's still time for you to go.
It's already too late. The hour is striking.
Yes. Now remember, Kathy, no matter what you hear, no matter what you see or feel, don't step out of the circle till we're done. Remember.
I remember. The prayer. Oh, God, if Will has offended you, he did it only for love. And for what he is about to do, forgive him. For if he were not to have me, or me him, I would be ready to take my own life.
Too late. Too late. For with that last chime, the first bullet is made and you are mine. Mine.
Don't listen to him, Kate. Put more lead into the ladle.
Oh,
no! The bellows on the fire. The light will drive them away. See, they are gone. Shut your ears, shut your eyes, Kate. Stay in the circle.
Look, that horrible old man with the wooden leg.
There's nothing can help. The hour's too late. Nothing can step twixt thee and thy fate.
Will! The coach and six headed straight for us down the road. They'll ride over us. Run! Run!
Oh, Kate! You stay in my arms and we stay our ground. Outside the circle is only death. No use describing the rest of that hellish hour. The coach, reaching the circle, soared into the air to vanish. It did a ravening, slathering, huge, hairy boar that charged down at us from the crossroad. And all the while I molded the bullets while Kate kept the lead liquid for me. By my watch, it was almost 12. And as the 60th bullet was cast, the clock began to strike. And the moon came out full as I hastily cast the last 3. As I did, all was sudden silence. As there, standing beyond the circle, was old Wooden Leg.
The witching hour, and the task is finished. You've stood the trial well. What would you have of me?
Nothing. Nothing at all. What I want, I have prepared myself.
Have you now? But with my help.
By no means. I bargained for no help. I did not summon you.
By Tuffet, you're bolder than most. So take the bullet you've cast, but remember, 60 for thee, 3 for me. The 60 go true, but 3 askew. All will be plain when we meet again.
In a puff of black smoke, he was gone, vanished into thin moonlight air. And I took my bullets and my fainting bride home, torn by black despair and brightening hope. By next morning at dawn, the Duke and his party had arrived for the hunt, and I was chosen to ride by his side as his gunsman and hunter. If I had any fear of my magic bullets, the first shot dispelled it forever.
Well, damn my hide, that is shooting. The lead duck in that flight which is not yet over, is
Partly from relief, but mainly I am ashamed because of the Duke's flattery. I lost my head. By the time I returned from the hunt, I had but 3 bullets left. Of the other 62 misses only. All the rest had found their mark.
Well, by gad, Adam, I've never seen such shooting in my life as this young fellow here. Hey. William is the name, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I swear after today's exhibition it seems foolhardy to carry through the old tradition, eh? Still, 'tis the law, and we must allow him to show off for his lovely bride. Come, my dear, bring your mother and stand near me.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And you stand on my other side, Will. Come, load up whilst I pick your target.
With shaking hand, I fingered the 3 bullets left. Which 2 the good, and which the one that could miss. I had to gamble, and just as I loaded...
The white dove on that pillar far down the road. Bring her down.
Oh, no.
No, hush, girl, hush. What? Don't you want this likely lad for your husband, eh? Now, fire away with you.
Ah! A dream.
What on earth is the matter with the girl? Fainted?
Oh, blessed Mary. Your Honor. No.
60 go true,
I turned to see Kate's mother bent over her, soaked with the blood that ran down her bridal veil from the fatal wound in her head. I had picked the devil's bullet, but I knew the one that I loaded for myself would go true, and I would join my bride wherever she was.
A true Gothic tale. Terror, suspense, blood, death, and tragedy. Not the stuff one would think to sleep on, and yet more Gothic stories are read in bed than in the parlor or library. Perhaps because it is only human nature to be able to say, as we turn out the light, such things, of course, could never happen to us. I'll return shortly.
Excuse me, sir, but do you know what happens this time of year?
Right on, pal. I happen to know that right about now a freak blizzard falls on Dumont, New Jersey, and they're snowed in for the rest of the summer. Happens every year.
No. You see, what happens this time of year is that you can get a particularly good deal on what is perhaps the most luxurious mid-size car on the market, the mid-size Buick Century Regal.
Well, what good's a car when you're hopelessly snowed in?
Well, that's a point.
A variety of assistance is available to the blind. Rehabilitation and library services can be had in every part of the nation. Cash payments for the needy and training in skills and techniques. You can help. For information, contact your local affiliate of the National Federation of the Blind, or write me, Kenneth Jernigan, President, National Federation of the Blind, 218 Randolph Hotel Building, Des Moines, Iowa, 50309.
Don't think too hard on William, who broke a sacred oath, or Kate, who loved well but not wisely. It was Daniel Defoe, Robinson Crusoe's writer, who said it. Wherever God erects a house of prayer, the devil builds a chapel there, and 'twill be found upon examination the latter has the largest congregation. Let's hope none of us join it. Our cast included Michael Wager, Suzanne Grossman, Ian Martin, Bryna Rayburn, and William Johnstone. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale.
You sounded just like Handsome Harry.
I am Handsome Harry, sweetheart. Just using Stupid's body for a while.
You are using Artie's body?
Until I learn how to materialize, if I ever do. They tell me on the other side, in that limbo joint, it takes a lot of patience and practice. Yeah, what do they know? They even told me I'm getting this hate out of my soul the wrong way.
Well, I haven't wanted to say anything.
All right, so don't. They say taking out my hate on Tex and Dory only make my hate grow bigger. Said I gotta find forgiveness in my heart. I told them to take a powder. I know what I'm doing.
I hope so.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Where this fall, you'll enjoy Gomer Pyle, U.S. Marine Corps, each evening at 6:30 on Channel 39. Yes, it's Gomer Pyle, that well-intentioned but inevitable muddler of the Marine Corps, doing everything the wrong way. You'll break out in laughter as Gomer breaks up the company, each evening at 6:30 on Channel 39. Another good reason to keep an eye on
39.
1080 on the dial. You're listening to KRLD Dallas.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Know what a petard is? I always knew it was something you got hoisted by. You know, hoist by his own petard. But I never knew what it was. So I looked it up. It was an explosive device used centuries ago by warring armies to blow things up. A device which sometimes blew up unexpectedly, thus hoisting the user into the air, to say the least. I mention all this because that's exactly what seems to have happened to a certain middle-aged lady known as Madame Zora.
Are you telling us you're a real ghost?
I'm not whistling Dixie, doll.
But you can't be.
No? Why not?
Because my wife is a fake medium. A phony. She just puts on an act. She just plain isn't a medium.
She is now, Buster. She sure is now.
Our mystery drama, Medium Rare, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Joan Lovejoy and Robert Dryden. It is sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, and Buick Motor Division. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
Who knows how to help you solve your shopping problems? Your Better Business Bureau knows.
Honey, just look at this fantastic buy I made. This came from a catalog at $47.45, and the manufacturer's list price is $89.95. I can't believe it.
Well, don't believe it. Your $47.45 price is pretty good. Only I've been looking around, and believe me, no one is selling them for list price.
You mean I was taken? I got a bad deal? Gosh, I wonder how I could really find out.
I'll help you.
Who are you?
I'm the man from your Better Business Bureau. You know, catalogs sometimes list two prices for an item. One is the list price, and the other is what you pay. And the only way you can be sure is to shop around.
You are so smart.
Oh, not at all. Your Better Business Bureau is better information for consumers like you.
Shop at Margie's. Summer turns to fall at Margie's, and you can turn your summer into fall with brand new nylon shells and tops. If perfect, just $3, $4, and $5 starting Monday. The greatest colors for the new season: turtlenecks, mock turtles, and pullovers in sleeveless, short, and long sleeve styles. So grab a bunch for fall at Margie's. Open Labor Day 10 till 6. Malls until 9:30.
Shop Margie's, Margie's today.
This is Al Wisk. Friday night on Sports Central will feature an open line show. You pick the topic. Our phone lines will be open from 6 to 7 p.m. to take your comments on any area of sports. Our first sports question of the night is a holdover from last night. Who fumbled more times than any other player in the National Football League in the 1973 season? Sports Central Dallas, weeknights, 6 to 7 p.m. on KRLD. Friday night at Open Line Show.
We're told that there are people who have the power to communicate with the souls of those who have died and passed on into another world. They are known as psychics, sensitives, mediums. Unhappily, there are also people who pretend to have this uncanny ability, fake mediums, who prey upon the credulous, the gullible. One of these, I regret to say, was an otherwise rather decent woman who dubbed herself Madame Zora, and who, with the assistance of her husband Artie, well, listen.
I'm sick of the racket. I'm sick of myself. And if you want the truth, Artie, I am sick of you.
Oh, come on, Gladys. What'd I do?
Nothing. That's just the trouble. You never do anything. You don't even bother to look for a job anymore.
What's the sense of looking for what isn't there? Actors are out of work in droves.
The trouble is you are always out of work in droves.
Okay, so I haven't made it yet. But someday, you mark my word, someday I'll be a star.
Oh, yeah, that'll be the day. Right now, it is today, and Mrs. Norris will be here any minute. Now, Artie, somehow, some way, we've got to keep her coming back for more seances.
Well, not a chance, you ask me. Unless the late lamented Mr. Norris tells her where he stashed that $1 million in cold cash and tells her today, she's going to split.
We've got to give her an answer. Otherwise, well, I just don't know where the next sucker is coming from. Oh, she's here. Into the bedroom, quick.
On my way.
You tested the microphone setup.
Match.
Oh, here goes nothing. Mrs. Norris, how nice to see you. Come in, come in. Now, I'm all ready for you, and Mrs. Norris, believe me, I have a feeling that today your dear departed husband is going to tell you what you want to know.
It's better. Or it's the last $50 you'll ever get from me, Madame Zora.
I have done all in my power to help you.
Well, in that case, perhaps I'd better find a medium with more power. Hmm? Shall we get on with it?
Yes. Yes, of course. If you'll just be seated at the seance table. And now, let me turn down the lights. So. And now I will seat myself. And go into trance. He is here. He is with us. You are there. Are you not, Mr. Norris?
I am here, Madame Zora.
Your wife has joined me once again so she can talk to you. Will you talk with her?
Hello, Marie.
Herkimer, is that you? Really you?
Would I lie to you, Marie?
No, you wouldn't dare. But Madame Zora might.
Marie, believe me, you may put your trust in Madame Zora.
Herkimer, where is that money?
Marie, you know, I've been trying to remember where I put that $1 million for weeks. I've been trying to remember, but...
Oh, that does it. I've had enough. You can come out of your trance, Madame Zora, if you are in one, and never again will I come into...
Cool it.
What?
I said cool it. Knock it off.
Who are you?
Handsome Harry Harrigan, they used to call me, sweetheart. But never mind that. You want to know where hubby cribbed the cabbage, right?
Cribbed the cabbage?
Hid the dough. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because I'm sick of hearing you ask. Also, I've got some business with Madame Zora, and you're chewing too much beef. You got something to write with, pencil, paper?
Yes, I've got...
All right, write this down. Geneva Bank, Switzerland. Got that?
Yes.
Number 753-8492-W. Got that?
Yes, but...
That's the number of the safety deposit box in a Geneva bank where your hubby hid the long green. Okay. You got what you want? Pay Madame Zora her 50 clams and split.
Yes. Yeah, yes, I would... I don't know what to say. Well, thank you, Madame Zora. Thank you.
Not at all, not at all.
And thank you, Harry. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Now fade, will you?
Fade?
Scram. Fade it.
Oh, yes, I'm going. Thank you.
Artie, you can come out of the bedroom now.
What? What's happening? Who are you? Where are you?
I'm here, but you can't see me. I haven't learned how to, what they call, materialize yet.
Materialize? Are you telling us that you're a real ghost?
I'm not whistling Dixie, doll.
Artie, I think I'm going to faint.
Later. Right now I need you. I need a job done. And I picked you to do it.
What kind of a job?
You'll find out. First, let me give you a little scam about me. Put you in a picture, like they say. Before I kicked off a couple of years ago, I was one of the best card shops in the business. Handsome Harry, they called me. Handsome Harry Harrigan, because, I do say so myself, I was a pretty cool-looking cat. Not like this creep you married.
What do you mean, creep?
Go take a look at yourself in a mirror and you'll see what I mean. You want to be an actor, you got to act the part. Look like an actor, talk like an actor, dress like an actor. You look, act, talk, and dress like a bum.
Oh, I've been telling him that for years, but would he listen to me? Oh, no, not him.
Some other time, Gladys, huh? Right now I got to fill you in on why I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Harry. I may call you Harry.
Handsome. I was always called Handsome. Now, over here, in this other world, I'm doing a stretch in what they call limbo. It's kind of like being in a can in prison, you know what I mean? That's because I got hate in my soul, and I got to get rid of it.
Hate in your soul? You got hate?
For a gunzo named Tex Morgan, who 3 years ago took me to the cleaners with a pair of loaded dice. And took my mouse along with everything else.
Well, what were you doing with the mouse?
A dame, a skirt. Girlfriend.
Oh.
Dory. That was her name. A looker, a bombshell. Tex, he cops my dough and her. I'm looking for them a whole year to put the blast on them, to get revenge. When my ticket goes bluey, and, well, that's the end of that. So now I'm over here in this limbo place, and I can't get out till I, what they call, purge myself of this hate I got for Tex and Dory.
What do you want with us? How are we going to help you get rid of your hate feelings?
I'll explain all that when we get to Vegas.
Vegas? Las Vegas?
There's another Vegas? Yeah, Las Vegas. That's where they are right now, Tex and Dory. He's a blackjack dealer at the Pan of Gold.
Suppose we don't go.
Don't go?
Well, you haven't told us what's in it for us yet. What do we get out of all this if we help you?
It's what you'll get out of it if you don't help me.
Like what?
Artie! The table, my expensive seance table. I've got 6 payments to go yet.
Bouncing up and down on the floor. Look, it's flying in the air. And, Gladys, look out!
Oh, he's broken my seance table in splinters. Harry, you've wrecked my table with 6 payments.
Are you and Meathead here going to Vegas? Or not going to Vegas?
Artie? Start packing.
Dory?
Yes, Tex.
Clean shirt?
Bureau, top drawer. I'll get it.
Oh, no, you don't. You just stay right there on the couch. Remember, you're resting for 2 now.
Oh, darling. Having a baby isn't really the big deal you're making out of it.
Maybe not, but you are. To me. The biggest deal I ever made, honey.
Oh, Tex.
Ah, baby.
Hey. Come on. You got 15 minutes to get over to the Pan of Gold.
I'll make it. I wouldn't be late today for anything.
You really think Roscoe will?
Look, would he have called me into his private office yesterday, talked to me like a loving father, if he didn't mean that I'm going to get the nod?
Supervisor, head dealer, oh, Tex, you'll be in charge of the whole section.
And bringing home a lot more bacon, that's what counts. Especially right now. Kid on the way. And the house. The little house.
Can we afford it? Really, Tex? Can we?
You want it, don't you?
You know I do.
And you're going to get it.
Oh.
You're the one that convinced me to go straight. And, Dory, I bless you for it. Hauling down a straight salary. Working a blackjack table on the up and up. I'm clean. I am Tex Morgan citizen. And, Dory, it feels good. Solid.
Then, no regrets.
Regrets?
Well, being married, kid on the way and all.
You shouldn't even ask.
Wild, man. Wild. You sound like you've never been in a casino before, Artie.
Me? I never been west of Hoboken, New Jersey. Gladys, look at this place, would you? Roulette wheels, slot machines, crap tables, I don't know what all.
Blackjack tables. Like that one over there. With Tex Morgan dealing.
That's him? The slim one with the glasses?
That's him. My first mark, my first step to, like they say in limbo, purging my soul of hate. You ready to go to work, Gladys?
Well, what do you want me to do?
Take a hand at Morgan's table.
Play blackjack? I don't know how. I've never played. Artie has, though.
How much dough you got on you, Gladys?
Would you believe $7?
Gladys, by the time you leave that table, Tex Morgan's table, you won't have just 7 skins or 70 or 700 or 7,000. You're going to leave that table with 17,000 iron men.
17 grand?
For openers. They'll really start putting the hooks to Tex Morgan tomorrow.
Look, I don't get this. I don't know the first thing about playing blackjack.
But I know everything. Also, I'm a ghost.
What's that got to do with it?
I can see through anything, including cards. My revenge on Tex and Dory begins. And, baby, let Handsome Harry tell you, revenge is sweet.
Handsome Harry Harrigan is taking the wrong route to purging his soul. Madame Zora, fake medium, was, as I said at the outset, hoisted by her own petard. And quite honestly, I look forward to Handsome Harry, unhappy though he may be in limbo, being hoisted by his. We'll see when I return shortly with Act 2.
Some research experts say you can't taste the difference between beers. Well, if they're right, then Anheuser-Busch wastes a barrel of time Beechwood aging Budweiser. Only they don't think so. Brewing beer right does make a difference. And they're betting a bundle that you can taste the difference in Bud. When it comes to brewing Budweiser, the Anheuser-Busch choice is to go all the way because they still care about quality. Look at it this way. If the Bud people have a choice between what some experts say and what beer drinkers say, well, you'd better believe they'll go with you beer drinkers every time. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Most air conditioners sound like this. But when the American Refrigeration Institute put air conditioners to the test, Carrier's round ones proved to be the most efficient. More cooling power per watt. That makes it the most economical, saving you as much as $72 a year on electricity. And Carrier's SE round ones prove to be more than twice as quiet as any other system on the market.
Call MB Kaiser Heating and Air Conditioning in Dallas, your Carrier dependable dealer today. That's...
Madame Zora, fake medium, finds herself in real and anything but medium trouble, completely under the domination of the ghost of Handsome Harry Harrigan. It seems that when Handsome Harry's ticker went bluey, he found himself in limbo, to move on from which point he must purge his soul of the hate he feels for Tex Morgan and his former girlfriend, Dory. And so, in the gambling casino of the Pan of Gold in Las Vegas...
Hit me. 20.
18. You win again. Joey, get Roscoe quick.
Gladys, lay 1,000 on the next hand.
Okay, Harry.
Ma'am?
What?
You say something?
Oh, no. Let's see. 1,000 on this next hand.
1,000 it is. Again?
Yeah, hit me.
Stand back, Roger.
With 15?
He's got 13. Top card's an ace. He'll take it and go over.
Ma'am?
I'll sit with these.
Suit yourself. One more to the house. 23.
Pay me.
You wanted me, Dick?
Yeah, Roscoe. Excuse me, ma'am. I'll be back in a second. Roscoe, this is
I heard.
the game.
How come she's breaking the house?
I don't know.
You know.
Of course I don't, Roscoe.
You don't know this thing.
No.
You never see her before.
No.
She's in the house, what? How much?
14 grand.
Close the table.
Okay. Table's closed, ma'am.
What do you mean, close?
He means closed.
Well, now, wait just a minute.
You collect your winnings and toss Tex a $100 chip.
Well, okay. Just give me my winnings. And, here's 100 for you, dealer.
Say, go buy yourself a piece of luck.
Go buy yourself a piece of luck.
Oh, my God.
Is something wrong? You've gone white as a ghost.
Where'd you get that line, lady?
What line?
Handing the dealer 100 skins and saying, go buy yourself a piece of luck.
Why? What's it to you?
Nothing, only it was a trademark of a gambler, big-time swinger. He died more than 2 years ago.
And then, Dory, then she says, go buy yourself a piece of luck. Just the way Handsome used to.
But what of it? It's something almost anyone might say.
It was Handsome's trademark. And another thing, all through the place, she kept rubbing the right side of her nose with her index finger, just the way Handsome used to.
Honestly, Tex, I don't know what you're getting at.
I'm saying that Handsome Harry Harrigan was at that table, my table.
Tex, Handsome's been dead for more than 2 years.
He's come back to get me.
Tex!
He swore he would with his dying breath, he swore it. Face it, Dory, I cheated him out of a fortune with loaded dice.
But that was before you went straight.
I wouldn't cut any ice with Handsome, dead or alive. What about you? You left him for me. You deserted him, he said.
But he knew better than that. He knew the hell he'd put me through. How many times did he beat me up? How many threats did he make to disfigure me with acid if I ever even looked cross-eyed at another man? I was scared to death of him, Tex. Petrified. Until I fell in love with you, and I just knew I couldn't go on with him anymore, no matter what he did.
Dory, I tell you, he's come back. I know he's come back.
Well, I don't believe in ghosts, and I never will. But if they do exist, if Handsome has come back, I'm not afraid of him or what he'll try to do. There's no reason to be afraid of him. Not anymore.
How do you figure that?
Because we love each other, Tex. We love each other deeply and devotedly. Maybe it sounds corny, but from where I sit, love is stronger than hate any day.
Artie? Artie? What have you done to yourself?
What I wanted to do for years. As soon as I got some dough, go out and buy me some new threads. Handsome wasn't telling me nothing I didn't know when he said, I want to be an actor, I got to dress the part.
Well, I never believed clothes make the man, but they sure make you.
I'm more than just a clothes horse, doll.
What in the world? Artie, you sounded just like Handsome Harry.
I am Handsome Harry, sweetheart. Just using Stupid's body for a while.
You are using Artie's body?
Until I learn how to materialize, if I ever do. They tell me on the other side in that limbo joint, it takes a lot of patience and practice. Yeah, what do they know? They even told me I'm getting this hate out of my soul the wrong way.
Well, I haven't wanted to say anything.
All right,
but,
so don't. They say taking out my hate on Tex and Dory only make my hate grow bigger. Said I gotta find forgiveness in my heart. I told them to take a powder. I know what I'm doing.
I hope so.
Hey, what's eating you all of a sudden? You won a fortune the past week beating Tex at blackjack.
She came to see me, Dory.
Oh?
She said Tex was scared. That nose-rubbing bit, you know. That he thought I was you returned from the dead.
He's right. You are. Same difference, anyhow.
Well, I told her I didn't know what she was talking about. So she said, well, anyhow, to please lay off Tex that he was in hot water at the casino because of the losses at his table. And, well, look, Handsome, she seemed like an awfully nice kid and a decent kid to me. And it comes to, I've grown to like Tex Morgan, too.
Oh, stop. You're breaking my heart.
Handsome, the way I feel now...
Rise up. What I feel is all that matters. And don't forget, if I can take possession of Artie's body, I can do the same with yours. So don't get any fancy ideas about running out on me. You got that?
Yeah.
Then hang on to it, doll. Hang on real tight.
Yeah. Send him in. Sit down, Tex. Tex, I'm sorry about this, real sorry. I guess you know I was going to make you a head dealer of the blackjack section. You're not? Worse. You're fired. Oh, come on,
We can put up with a lot from our dealers, Tex, but one thing we won't put up with is a crooked dealer.
I told you when you took me on 2 years ago that I was playing straight from then on, and I have.
Maybe?
There's no maybe about it, Roscoe. I'm married to one of the finest women in the world. I've got a kid on the way. We're planning to buy a house here in Vegas, and you're saying that I'd risk all that by going crooked again.
I'm talking facts. Sorry, pal. I get my orders from upstairs. You're out of the pan of gold and every other casino in town.
He said he'd get me, and he's done it.
Hey, Artie, you should have bought more luggage after buying all those new suits. How are we going to pack them up for the trip back east?
You taking a powder down?
Oh, it's you, Handsome. You've taken possession of Artie's body again.
Yeah. Handsome Harry in the flesh. Artie's flesh. What's all this with a packing?
We're going back to New York.
Who says?
I do.
I don't. And I give the orders, sweetheart. You and Artie are staying right here in Vegas.
But what for? The job you wanted done? It's done.
Hasn't even started.
Now, what do you mean?
Getting Tex fired was just the first step. I swore I'd make him regret the day he was born, and that's what I'm going to do. He thought he was all set. Married to my doll, a kid on the way. Could have been my kid.
Handsome, listen to me.
What for? All you're going to do is run off at the mouth about forgive and forget. No more arguments, Gladys. I'm following through with every single step in my plan, following through to the hilt.
Well, how many steps are there? 3.
You took care of the first. Artie will take care of the second.
And the third?
That'll take care of itself. All right, I come here to get step number 2 set up with Artie. I got to talk to him. Where is he?
You're in him.
Oh, hey, I forgot. Well, I can't talk to myself, can I? Okay, Artie, take over.
You say something about buying more luggage, Gladys?
Yeah, I did, Artie, but skip it for now, sweetheart.
Sweetheart?
Handsome's here. He wants to talk to you.
About what? I got a job for you, punk.
What kind of a job, Handsome?
Acting. You're going to be an actor. An actor?
Oh, honey, don't listen to him. He's putting you on.
What part do I play? A murderer.
Murderer?
I kill somebody? Not just somebody, Artie. You kill a very special person. You kill the girl who used to be my girlfriend. You killed Dory Morgan.
A short act, but a sweet one, Handsome Harry said, believing, as perhaps all too many do, that revenge is sweet. But chemistry teaches the immutable, perhaps divine law, that the sweeter a thing, the more sour it can become, given certain conditions. Personally, I have the feeling that Handsome's sweet revenge is going to turn very sour indeed. I'll be back shortly with Act 3.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah?
I would like to ask a deceptively simple question.
Okay.
I say deceptive because few people seem to know the answer.
Oh, go ahead.
Are you ready?
Yeah, ready as rain.
Okay.
No, wait. I think that should be right as rain.
Oh, well...
No, wait. Make that ready as I'll ever be, okay? Ready as I'll ever be.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, the question is this.
Yeah, go ahead.
What happens this time of year?
That's it.
That's the question.
That's the $64,000 question. That's the one for all the marbles, right?
Well,
That's the one that's on everybody's lips.
Yes.
That's the question. Well, as everyone should know, what happens this time of year is that Buick dealers are giving great deals on 1974 Buicks, which of course means that this time of year may very well be the best chance you'll ever have to buy a Buick. From the thrifty but surprisingly elegant Apollo to the dashing full-size LeSabre to the Electra, which surprisingly enough is the second largest selling luxury car in America.
Know-it-all.
Hey, Gene, you know there could be athlete's foot fungus in this shower? Where's the Lysol spray?
Mom, these sneakers are coming on pretty strong. Where's the Lysol spray?
Where's the Lysol spray disinfectant? My family keeps it pretty busy during the summer because it does so much. Kills athlete's foot fungus on the shower floor. Keeps sneakers and shoes cool and fresh. And, Bill, we gotta do something about the odor from this dog bed. Where is the Lysol spray?
People need what Lysol spray does.
This is Al Wisk. Friday night on Sports Central will feature an open line show. You pick the topic. Our phone lines will be open from 6 to 7 p.m. to take your comments on any area of sports. Our first sports question of the night is a holdover from last night. Who fumbled more times than any other player in the National Football League in the 1973 season? Sports Central Dallas, weeknights, 6 to 7 p.m. on KRLD. Friday night at Open Line Show.
Helpless in the grip of a ghost. The ghost of gambler Handsome Harry Harrigan. Fake medium Madame Zora, real name Gladys, and her would-be actor husband Artie find that they must do whatever Handsome tells them to do. Now, to the horrified astonishment of both, Handsome has told Artie that he is going to murder Dory Morgan.
Dory Morgan? Kill that nice, sweet kid? Don't hand me that nice, sweet kid, Jazz. She's a two-timing tramp.
No, she is a decent girl. And she's carrying a baby.
Tex Morgan's baby.
I don't care whose baby it is. Kill her and it's double murder. And I'm not letting Artie do one.
Stupid here will do what I tell him, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
But why? What are you going to get out of killing Dory?
Not what I'm going to get, sweetheart. What Tex is going to get. The misery that'll make him wish he'd never been born. He'll live with that misery inside him, burning in him, in his gut, for the rest of his life. First, he loves her. And he does, I know that. Second, he'll know he killed her. Not me, him. Every day of his life he'll think, 1,000 times a day he'll think, if I hadn't stolen her from Handsome, she wouldn't be dead.
He didn't steal her. She loved him.
Love. You know something? I'm sick of that word. That's all I talk about over here, love. And that's all you talk about lately. You, a two-bit phony medium that sucked in any mark you could find, sucked them dry. Even when they didn't have a pot to put a penny in. And you talk to me of love?
Okay. I guess I have no right. I've got to admit I don't know much about it. It's new to me, love.
What? You mean me, Gladys?
Yes, Artie. I love you.
Well, how about that? You hear that, handsome? How about that?
So don't get all flaked out. I know dames, and this one you're married to is no exception. Love you. She needs you is all. There ain't a dame in the world. There isn't a person in the world wouldn't sell his mother down the drain.
You're judging others by what you are. Can't you get it through your head? Can't they on the other side somehow beat it into you that there are good people in the world? Honest, generous, decent people?
Show me one.
What?
Show me one. Just one. And maybe then I'll believe. Well, go on, Doll. Show me one. Name me one.
Dory.
Dory?
I can prove it to you.
Yeah? How?
If I do, will you let her off the hook? Will you let her live her life with Tex?
Sure.
It's a deal, handsome?
It's a deal, baby. It's a deal.
It isn't the end of the world.
The end of our plans, our future. Sure, the end of the house. I can't afford a mortgage now.
So, we live in an apartment.
Yeah, and how long will I be able to afford the rent?
Tex, I can always get a job to help out.
With a baby?
Well, there's sitters, people who stay with kids while they're...
No!
Hey.
I said no, and I mean it. But it'd be like the way I was brought up, dragged up. My father couldn't make it either, so my mother went to work, and my grandmother, she took care of me. Then she died, and I went on the streets. It changed my life, Dory. It taught me to cheat and lie and sucker anybody I could until I met you and fell in love with you.
May I come in?
Well, yes.
I don't blame you for hesitating, Mrs. Morgan. I guess I've kind of put a crimp in your life.
Oh, what? Not at all.
You don't have to con me. I know the score. Your husband's in trouble, Mrs. Morgan. Bad trouble.
Is he?
You know it.
I don't know anything of the sort. Well, never mind that. What is it you want?
I've come here to make you an offer.
Offer?
In the past week, I won $130,000 from your husband. Well, the casino, actually. But he was the dealer, and he lost his job because of it.
True.
The deal I've come here to make, and no questions now. I'll give you that $130,000 if you leave him.
You will give me everything you won from Tex if I leave him? What you mean is desert him?
Yes.
In other words, sell him out for $130,000?
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Tell me another. Harry was evil. And the man I'm married to is good. As for you, I don't know what you are. I don't think you know what you are. But you'd be smart if you found out.
Found out?
I didn't know who I was with Harry, but I did. And I do. With Tex. You think you can buy that? With $130,000? You think you can buy it with $130 billion zillion dollars? I said I'd give you one answer. Here it is. You can't.
I was sure I couldn't.
Then why did you come here?
To prove my point. To somebody else. But we had a deal, you Welcher. I said I'd prove there are good people in this world, decent people capable of love, and I did. She turned down your offer flat.
You go and you buy a gun and you kill her. That's all.
I'm not buying any gun, and I'm not killing anybody, especially a fine human being like Dory Morgan.
All right. Now, let me tell you something. Thanks to me, you're worth $130,000. You're on Easy Street. I can see to it you wind up right back where you started, in that crummy New York apartment, scrounging for nickels and dimes. Now, what's it to be?
As far as I'm concerned, you can take your $130,000 and stuff it.
Tex and Dory, two people you never met till now, and you'd give up a fortune for them?
And for what they stand for. For what they are. She loves him, he loves her. And
love, a stacked deck, a con game.
Call it what you want. I'm not killing Dory Morgan.
And you neither, huh, stupid?
Well, I don't know.
Artie!
Gladys, baby, I'm sorry, but I've been thinking. I don't want to go back to that lousy New York dump and start living from hand to mouth again.
You'll do it? Artie, you'll do it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, Artie.
Yes?
Mrs. Morgan?
Yes?
I'm a friend of Texas. Is he home?
Well, no, he just left. But you must have just passed him on your way in.
Oh, it's too bad. I got a job for him.
A job? Oh, well. Won't you come in?
Thanks.
Sit down. Sit down. What kind of a job is it? What is this? A gun.
Listen, I don't like to do this, but I gotta.
Gotta what?
Kill you.
Kill me?
Yeah, I gotta do it. I got no choice. You see, it won't hurt. I'll make it quick, so it don't hurt. And I can't do it, Harry. I can't do it.
I can. Easy.
Your voice. It's changed. You sound like my...
Handsome Harry Harrigan, Dory.
Oh!
Your old flame. Handsome Harry.
But you're dead.
Only my body, doll. The spirit, it don't die. It goes on living till it gets itself purged or something. That's why I'm here. Inside this creep's body. My spirit using his body to kill you, you two, Diamond.
Harry.
And I won't make it quick. I'm going to make it slow. And very painful, doll. Very.
Oh, Harry, no. I don't care about me, but the baby. I'm carrying a baby.
His baby.
It doesn't matter whose. It's a baby. It's a new life. Oh, Harry, no.
I'm telling you, stand still.
Harry, listen to me. Please listen. I fell in love with Tex. I couldn't help myself. I couldn't stand it anymore with you. The beatings and the threats. If I loved you, Harry...
You did.
No.
You loved me.
Never. I wanted to. I wanted to, but you never gave me the chance.
Right. I gave you everything you've asked for. Clothes, furs, jewels, everything.
Everything but love, because you never had any of that in you to give.
What? A lot you know. A hell of a lot you know.
You beat me. You threatened me.
Because I loved you. Because I was scared of losing you. I'd seen you flirting with another guy.
Never,
Then it would send me up the wall. I'd make love to you, and you were like ice. And it would drive me bananas. I wanted you. I needed you.
And never once did I ever have you.
Harry.
I'm sorry I beat you. I'm sorry I threatened you, but I couldn't help myself because the thought of losing you. I knew I'd die if it happened. And I did.
Oh, Harry.
So you owe me, doll. For what you did to me, you owe me. And you're paying. You're paying in full. You're paying now.
No! Harry? You dropped the gun.
I can't kill you. I still love you.
And maybe I love you a little now. What is it, Harry?
Calling to me. Guys and dolls in limbo. Huh? What? Hey, that's out of sight. I mean to say that's really something else.
What? Harry, what is it?
Dory, believe it or not, I'm purged.
Love, hate. Two sides of the same coin, they say. If that is so, perhaps I can be forgiven for saying that Handsome Harry really flipped. Anyhow, he's purged. I'll be back shortly.
What's the blood pressure machine in 16 letters?
Easy.
Well, so, what is it?
Sphygmomanometer.
Oh, you're kidding.
SPHYGMOMANOMETER.
E-T-E-R. Hey, that's right. Hey, it fits. Now tell me what it is.
Well, it's a cuff with a dial on it. I say it's a machine that the doctor uses to measure your blood pressure.
Yeah, well, why does he want to do that?
Well, your blood pressure goes up and down, see? But if it goes up and stays up, you've got hypertension.
Well, that's bad.
Well, it can be. Hypertension can set you up for a heart attack or a stroke. But if your doctor knows you've got hypertension, the two of you can control it.
Hey, you know all about it.
Oh, while you're working crossword puzzles, I'm reading this booklet. I picked it up yesterday at the Heart Association.
Hey, smart. So what's a hollow muscular organ in 5 letters?
Heart, baby. Heart.
You'll be interested to learn that Tex found another job, and he and Dory are deliriously happy with their baby boy, Harry. Gladys and Artie live in the country. They bought a house and barn, in which Artie stages and stars in his own plays. As for Handsome Harry, he went on finally to a higher plane, wherever that is. Our cast included Joan Lovejoy, Robert Dryden, Mason Adams, and George Petrie. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale.
What can I do for you, Gray?
Well, I was wondering if you'd listened to that last report of mine on Ratus Norvegicus.
No, but I was just about to, actually. I got the tape recorder right here on my bedside table and was just about to turn it off.
Oh, fine. Listen, I'm anxious to get your reaction. Could you call me when you finish?
I'll call you back, Gray.
Report to Dr. Christopher Morton from Dr. Grayson Carter on experiment number 17 for Ratus Norvegicus. Chris, as you know, my entire theory is based on my conviction that of the 2,000 rat species in the world,
What in the world is that?
rat, especially the brown
Something in the room. Let's turn on the light.
is the most intelligent.
Good Lord!
They originated
It's a rat!
spread throughout the world
biggest I've ever...
Eliminating many other species.
No! No!
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Now is the time to complete your back-to-school shopping at your nearby Myers department store. You will find outstanding specials in boys and girls clothing and shoes in all the Myers stores. Just listen to this. Boys no-iron jeans in solids and patterns values to $5.99 are priced a low 3 pairs for $13. Or for the girls, choose from a good selection of no-iron polyester dresses values to $6, also priced to just 3 for $13. And don't forget, for your shopping convenience, Myers will be open Monday from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m., featuring our big annual Labor Day sale.
At 1080 on the dial, you're listening to KRLD Dallas.